Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you had a tremendous week. We survived. We survived. That's the main thing. We made it. We made it indeed. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Todd. This is Reaction Stream. We do these twice a week. If you'd like to request your own videos, these are all member requested videos off of toddreacts.com. You can certainly do so. Season tier requests 2. There we go. Let's get the fingers working. 2 videos per month. And the series tier gets 3 videos per month. Like I've never done this before. But I've done like over 100 of these at this point. Anyway, what's going on, Willow? So if you'd like to join, certainly do so. I appreciate it. Again, I feel like I have to repeat this because there's a lot of comments usually. Members request these videos. These are all member requested videos. toddreacts.com. So if you'd like to do so and you'd like to join, certainly do so. All right. While you're there, check out the winter collection of merch. You might see me donning one right in front of you. Let's see. Where is it? It's located down here. There it is. It's the soft, heavyweight hoodie. I have the forest green variety. As you can see, there's a lot of different colors here. And also a lot of different sizes. Very inclusive sizing on toddreacts.com. We go all the way to 3XL and all the way down to small. If you're wondering about the size and dimensions, we have inches, we have centimeters, all that good stuff. So you can kind of, I know how every manufacturer kind of has their own cut for their merch or clothing or whatever, or their shoes. I mean, shoes is kind of a weird one, but yeah, sometimes the shoes can be different in sizing. Good to check, so definitely like to bring that to your attention. As with every order on toddreacts.com, quality is guaranteed. If there's a print error or visible quality issue, we'll replace it or refund it. Certainly happy to point that out, as always. The one that I'm currently wearing. Accessories available as well. These don't swap out, so that is the winter collection we just looked at. These don't swap out as much, if at all, unless they stop allowing me to produce them. But that rarely happens. Let's go ahead and check out the Rocks glass right there. Boom. For some reason, this energy drink is a pink variety, a pink slush, if you will. And it is not pink at all. The cherry was pink, but the pink is, I don't even know what to call this, opaque? It's like not crystal clear. But anyway, Rocks glass is amazing. Love it. Pint glass, it is Friday. Happiest of Fridays to you and yours. But it does have a little beverage in there. Sturdy glass. That's what I love about it. Insulated tumbler, mint green variety. There's tons of different colors as well for you to choose from. It does come with the metal straw as well. So it's very nice. Easy to clean. Awesome. Appreciate that. As someone who just got over illness a couple weeks ago. Pretty severe one that we won't mention by name. I'm sure you could figure out. Snap case for iPhone. That's on my iPhone. I have the glossy variety. Obviously, the new tough cases are up here, so if you have a Samsung, you actually get to choose between glossy and matte, which is super cool. That goes from the S10 all the way to the S24 Ultra. And I'll keep an eye out. I think the 25 is coming out, isn't it? Or is it already out? We'll have to look into that and then make that available. iPhones, this one goes all the way from the 14 to the 16 Pro Max, which came out last October, November? I forget when iPhones come out. I think it's one of those two. I have an older iPhone. What can I say? But yeah, check those out. And if you're already there, be sure to hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. It is what it looks like. On desktop, at least. But yeah, I appreciate it. Over 13,600 of you have already hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it greatly. And there's over 1,100 videos in the back catalog. So if you've never been there or you want to check it out, maybe this interests you, you want to see more, there's a lot to go through. I wonder how many hours of videos are on the YouTube channel. That's not a stat that they give you, but that would be fascinating to figure out just how many hours of me talking is on this YouTube channel. It'd be kind of crazy. I'm assuming it's a high number since we've been doing, I don't know. Well, it's over 300. I know that. 300 hours because each one of these streams is usually over 3 hours long. And we've done over 100 of them. So, wow. that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Oh my God. Wild to think about. Actually, most of them are over 3 hours, if I'm being honest. I see one. I think the longest one I did was 4.5 hours, if I'm not mistaken. Or like close to 4.5 hours. Which is, oh yeah, there's 418. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so there's a lot for you to catch up on. So go ahead and do so. And report back. Let us know how you did. We'll see you in 6 months. Oh my gosh. It is warm out there. Good grief, is it warm out there. Thankfully, I have air conditioning and I can wear the winter merch still inside. But yeah, it's definitely warm out there. We've reached, I wouldn't call it peak summer, but we're flirting with it. Flirting with it pretty hard right now. Last but certainly not least, there we go. We'll have it on its own in all its glory. Oh, other way. In all its glory. Right over there. The Discord is available and free. It's a lovely community. Lots of great people in there, including myself. I felt like I had to say that. 218 wonderful members and counting. That's awesome. That is actually including myself. 218 members joined today. Lots of great conversations, cool people to meet. You know, if you've been in the comments at all on YouTube, you know that it's a pretty supportive and happy place, which is shocking on the internet, especially on YouTube. So join us today. Lots of great people in there. If you don't see a channel for something that you're really into, like say you're really into, I don't know, makeup or makeup artists, makeup tutorials or something, I don't know. I'm just kind of going down that pathway. You could certainly request it, and other people can join in. And you can share tips and tricks and videos and influencers you like and all that stuff. Like you can really go to town with it. So just hit the request a channel. Let us know what you want, and we will throw it in there for you. Lots of great fandoms as well. You can kind of scope these out yourself, and lots of great communities. So join today. You can certainly check it out. It's awesome. It is truly cool. I'm very glad we started that. I. who is the formal we? Who is this we? That is kind of an interesting thing. Whenever anybody who works solo, basically, starts talking about the business or whatever community or something, and they always say we, and it's just like, we know it's you. What are you doing? We know it's you. Stop saying we. You know, like you're representing yourself and I guess a business or idea of a business or something. Very interesting language. As you can see at the top, it's also very handy. It does tell you when we're live. So we're live, and it's telling you we're live. Cool, and it has a nice little URL there. If you pull it up on your mobile device and you have the Twitch app installed, it'll just pull up the app, which is cool, minus the amount of updates they do. Or it'll just pull up a browser and you can watch via there as well. Check it out today. Awesome, awesome stuff. Like I said, it's pretty warm out there. Wow. My brain isn't functioning very well today. And I just got off of work. A long week of work. So we're boy, I need a little bit of energy. Wow. It's been a long one, folks. And we made it. We We can safely deplane. Ooh. I feel like I got to clap that this week is over. Oh my gosh. Woo! Good grief. A lot of fun. People around every day, pretty much, from all around. Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of the coolest thing about the Discord is that we're all from different countries. And it's a wonderful, wonderful place. There's always somebody awake. So if you're up at a crazy hour, I'm assuming there's multiple people in there that are also awake. And it might be morning time for them. But who knows? But yeah, it's very cool. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. Oh my gosh. Discord's also where you could speak to Todd if you need and want to. Yeah, absolutely. Just at me. Just do the just at me. And yeah, you can at and summon him. Pretty much. Yeah. I get those notifications directly on my phone. So if you need anything or have any questions, certainly reach out. It has been a long week. Oh my gosh, hasn't it? Oh. Woo. But we made it. I'm happy. We're about to react to some amazing videos, so I'm ecstatic right now. As soon as that go live button is hit, I just feel so much better. So much better on a Friday. Ooh. Alrighty. I've just been watching more Marrying Millions. Nothing crazy. I went over that show, I think last stream. Just kind of the cringe moments and whatnot. It's very weird. There's a lot of weird and interesting things. I don't know. I think that show just plays on everybody's social expectations. Subverts it. So you're just the entire time you're just like, I mean, they're both adults, but also just slightly out of the norm. You're just like, So it's a whole like internal struggle and strife and whatnot. It's so weird. It's so weird. Almost like torture, I guess. You watch it and you're just like, I mean, they look kind of happy. They look seemingly happy. And then then they start talking to their parents about potential marriage and whatnot. And oh my gosh, it turns crazy. All hell breaks loose. The parents have no filter. No filter at all. They just let it sling. And you're just like, whoa. All those thoughts you've been having in your head just kind of come out. And you're just like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I have a question for you all. Let me know down below in the YouTube comments if you're watching this on YouTube. And if you're watching this live, let me know in the chat. Do you have a favorite? And yes, I am farming you. I am farming answers here. Do you have a favorite date night activity and what is it? That is the question. Do you have what is your favorite date night activity? Happen to have one. I will be writing all of these down and taking notes. Taking notes. I'd say for me, I really enjoy. I'm really a big fan of museums and dinner. That seems to be like a great 1-2 punch, in a weird way to put it. Also, you know what? I also really like bowling. It's an activity. It's fun. It's a little bit of a playful competition. Hopefully you don't take it too seriously. Maybe if you take competition too seriously, stay away from any and all competition in any sort of date or romantic situation. That can be deadly. I don't know, maybe come up with something cooperative, that you work together on maybe as competition. Although if one is weaker than the other in some aspect of it, that might cause a rift. Maybe just stay away from competition completely. But bowling is pretty fun. I enjoy it. And just going to, I don't know if you have one of these near you, but I got a couple of them. They're like event centers or something where they have bowling alleys. They have like bumper car kind of things. They have uh arcade, like a full arcade, all in one big building. And then you pay for like tokens or coins or whatever the heck their currency is in there. You basically buy those and you use them to bowl or whatever. It's super fun. It is incredibly fun. You could then bowl, you could do arcade, you could, do whatever else they have in there. It's very cool. Very neat. Me and Kate have both been doing aquariums and zoos. Nice. I do love a good aquarium. I do love a good aquarium. It's been a while since I've been to a good zoo. I don't know if the area I'm at has a good one. That's kind of a problem. Maybe I have to drive to it quite a distance. Maybe it turns into a weekend thing. But yeah, it's been a while since I've been to a good zoo. I went to one a lot of years ago at this point. It was super cool. Super cool. They had like a 14-foot alligator. Oh, huge. The thing, I think they said the stats on it were like 14 feet, something like 320 pounds. Like, good grief. That thing would absolutely wreck everybody watching. Everybody watching. Oh my gosh. And it was just laying there in the sun, looking, totally docile. But at like a split second, that thing could just absolutely destroy you. We both have disability issues, so some stuff is inaccessible. Yeah, absolutely. That's unfortunate, of course. But you find things that you can do and whatnot. Aquariums is usually a great spot, honestly. Last zoo is Santa Barbara Zoo. Ooh, I've heard good things about Santa Barbara Zoo. On a Thursday, so it was quiet and all the animals were chilling. Even the usual hiding snow leopards were out. Nice. That's great. That's awesome. That is very cool. Very, very cool. Ooh, unfortunately, you are now banned. No self promotion. Yeah, Santa Barbara Zoo. I've heard a lot of good things. I've heard good things about the Cleveland Zoo. Obviously the Australian Zoo. Steve Irwin fame. That's one zoo I would probably travel to, but the idea of flying to Australia from where I am just absolutely drives me nuts. That is such a long flight. Oh gosh. You almost have to spend I don't know how you would do it without one of those like lay flat like airline seats or whatever. Um and then of course I'm looking at that and I'm like, good grief, how much is that? you know. And then of course it's like vacation, so you want to treat yourself and it's like, oh, business class. And then you look at the business class prices and holy cow. It's a lot of money. Oh my gosh. Appreciate it, Jace. Um, yeah, aquariums, zoos. I think bowling is a good one. Movies if you've been dating for a while, okay? If you can go with silence between you. Or if you go to a movie with somebody and you don't know them that well, I would advise going very early and having time to actually talk before you go watch it. Or maybe hang around afterwards and do something else. Usually if they're a theater that serves like alcohol or anything like that, they typically have a bar that you can kind of hang out in. And that would be a great way to just kind of chill out, talk, and all that stuff. But if you've been going out for a while, yeah, movie night's pretty good. I mean, especially if it's one theater that like serves food or anything like that, you're going to pay crazy prices, of course, but usually a lot of fun. Over 10 years ago, I flew 24 hours to Australia. I was in economy. Oh, wow. 21-year-old me was hardier. Yeah, I bet. Oh my gosh. Oh, I honestly, I've 4 hours is pushing it on a flight for me, which is nowhere near the flight to Australia. 24 hours is nuts. Oh my gosh. I think we've all seen those YouTube videos of the most expensive flight or whatever, and they're in there, they have like their own bathroom and bathrobes, and there's like a door to a suite that they go in. Like the flight attendants change their chair into a bed and whatnot, and you're just like, that looks phenomenal. If you're going on a 24-hour flight, that looks like the greatest thing. Now, would you actively pay for it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh my gosh. We've done a few theater shows too. Oh, that's a good idea. Theater shows are smart. Saw Brokeback Mountain debut on the West End. Also, Six the Musical. Oh, yeah, yeah. Absolutely reacted to some of those songs. Oh my gosh. That must have been a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I've never thought about going to a theater show. That's a good idea. I'm writing that one down. I'm writing that down. What else? Certainly any sort of like event or something like that. That's a little harder to plan for, I guess. If you well, okay. If you have a certain day selected every month or week, who knows how many times you're having date nights, but or can afford to have date nights. But um it's usually once a month for me. And it's it's kind of hard to plan around that. So it's really got to be something kind of spur of the moment. Um, I guess maybe you could delay it. What a good one. Hmm. I think a good one that's real simple, doesn't involve a lot, is an outdoor picnic, weather permitting, of course. Weather permitting. Um, whether it's making your own food, taking it to a park, or just grabbing some quick food, taking it to a park. Pretty interesting idea. Simple, nice. You're in nature. Hopefully not sitting on your cell phone the entire time. But yeah, very nice. Kind of refreshing in a way. Usually, restaurants near theaters are used to do a meal. Nice. Very nice. That's a good idea. That is a very good idea. Restaurant, of course. Restaurants are a great idea. They're so easy, right? But gosh, they're getting more expensive. They are getting crazy expensive. I can't be the only one realizing this. Like, it's gotten way worse. Like, just to have like a drink, maybe an appetizer, maybe an entree, and not even a dessert, or even two drinks, an appetizer and an entree, and you're probably spending close to 50 US dollars, depending on the restaurant. But what I've seen is that it's usually around there, which is crazy. Crazy. And these are not fancy restaurants. This is not some like steakhouse, whatever. It's not even downtown. Like, it's just absurd. So for two people, it almost guaranteed to be $100 US dollars. Crazy. You have a beach local that works too? Absolutely. Absolutely. Everything's more expensive. Paying for dates in the US versus when we're in the UK. US is normally way more expensive. Yeah. That is the unfortunate reality we live in over here. Oh gosh, the rent is too damn high. And so is everything else. Um and honestly, it's just becoming more and more expensive. Crazy. Um yeah, it's getting to the point where if you're not meal prepping as they call it or eating indoors, you're well, even that's getting expensive. But you're at a restaurant more than twice a week, you're probably not doing too well based on the average salary here. which has not really increased in the past 20 years. But everything else has. It's not good. Help. Help us. Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. So date nights are, fun, obviously, but getting increasingly difficult. And you got to be more and more creative to try to come up with something that's not going to, put you in the poorhouse or make you take out a personal loan, visit a payday loan or whatever. It's just awful. Oh, gosh. So, yeah. Leave your ideas, what you like to do down below in the YouTube comments. I appreciate it. I am definitely going to be taking notes. Oh. Alrighty. We got 5 amazing videos for you today. You're going to see a pattern today. We're cleaning up from March doing. And it just so happens that there's going to be 4 videos on 2 different shows. So, sometimes the low energy rainy day stuff is just as fun. Puzzle, board game, cheesy 80 movie. Absolutely. Absolutely. Not getting, they call it in, oh gosh, it's takeout here. What do they call it in the UK? It's, oh gosh, I'm blanking. No. Is it takeout? No, it's takeaway. Takeaway, that's it. Yes. Takeout or takeaway has just gotten crazy expensive. It's gotten to the point where I'll like order on the app because they do give you, a lot of places give you like points or deals on certain stuff. And obviously it's just to get you to go in there more and more and more. But if you use it sparingly, it can help you quite a bit. So what I'll do is I'll just order, food via an app and then do pickup. So that way I don't have to pay like a delivery fee, a service fee, a tip, everything else. It's just a lot. I can't tell you how many times I've ordered something and then I look at the taxes and fees and it's just double what I just ordered. And you're just like, what? How is this expensive? But if you get pickup, it's way cheaper. Way, way cheaper. So that's a pro tip. Just go out and pick it up. Just go out and pick it up. It's so much easier. Well, cheaper, I guess. Not easier. US prices, not including taxes, always gets me. Yeah, it is. Well, I guess the thing behind it is, they want to make it transparent. So by telling you what the taxes are, all individually, supposed to be transparent. They're just like, yeah, but I also feel like I'm still being taken advantage of. Like, none of this is good. None of this is good. I don't care to see it if I'm still being charged like double what I ordered. That's crazy. It is so weird. So, the first video today is going to be a 911 TikTok compilation. And then we have a One Tree Hill TikTok compilation. And then we have a 911 buddy video. And then we have a One Tree Hill video. So you're going to see 911, One Tree Hill, 911, One Tree Hill. Going to kind of rock back and forth, that way we're not sticking to one for multiple videos in a row. We're actually going to, be a little agile, go from one to the other. And then we're going to end stream and the week with When Life Gives You Tangerines, which I believe I have reacted to previously, maybe once. I'm pretty sure I remember that. Pretty sure. 911 was renewed for season 9 yesterday. Yes. Excellent. Very cool. That's amazing for a show that got dumped from their first channel or broadcaster, I guess, and got picked up by another broadcaster. That is huge, right? I felt the same way when Lucifer got dumped by Fox and then Netflix picked him up. I've only watched the first 2 episodes of When Life Gives You Tangerines, but it made me bawl my eyes out. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, no, we're going to end on a bawl our eyes out? Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Well, I could do a fast one and switch it out real quick. Shall we end on a high note? I don't know if you've seen it, but let's see. It's new. I don't think I've seen you do it in March. Unless I'm wrong. Oh, okay. I don't know. For some reason, that title, as I was typing it out for the title of the stream, I was just like, that sounds weirdly familiar. Weirdly familiar. I've read it somewhere. But, let's end. Okay, I'm going to do a little. Let's go ahead and move this. There we go. Okay, so we're going to do 911, One Tree Hill, When Life Gives You Tangerines, and then we're going to do One Tree Hill, and then we're going to end on the Buddy video. How about that? That way we end on a somewhat of an upswing there, depending on if you're into Buck and Eddie. Instead of a potential downswing. I'm not saying it is, but I don't know. Aiming to be around for modding all stream, but we'll see how we go. Good luck. I'll try to speed it along as much as I can. All right, let me move my. Okay, this is going to be after first batch. Figure this out. Yep. Oh, I think I did it. Wow. All right. Good stuff. And we just move this to the end. There we go. Perfect. Appreciate the patience as I refigure this. All right. First one is, it's the usual roller coaster indeed. We're going to go up, up, up. Potentially, not sure. I don't pre-watch these. Potentially hit a down on the emotional note. Then we'll go right back up. So, get your tissues ready for midstream. All right, the first one is 911 TikToks, but it's mainly Buddy. Season 8, Episode 11, spoilers. Heads up on that. I do have it ready to go. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Here we are. And let's go, shall we?
I'm living in Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him.
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
It wouldn't be so crazy.
Except that I'm not.
Yesterday was 8/13, so these are pretty new. Nice.
You to stop climbing.
No, thank you, Satan.
Cap, she thinks I'm Satan. I'll tell her you're not. Ma'am, I'm not Satan.
He loves me, yeah. He actually told me, yeah, he told me that.
Excellent advice. Excellent advice from Bobby.
Just adjusting to life without Eddie. DS left. Yeah, he went to be with his son in El Paso. I figured.
He's gone back to Texas. Buck has moved into Eddie's old house. Okay.
To me after you and I broke up.
Eddie went back to Texas for Christopher, right? Christopher went to Texas, so he's trying to, win him back. I remember some things.
911, what's your emergency?
I don't have the greatest memory, but I try. I've always loved Jennifer Love Hewitt as an actor. She is phenomenal. She's always good in whatever she's in. Classic Paramore is some of the best music ever.
House, therefore I
Period.
must be in love with him.
Are you?
In love with Eddie.
You're the one, you're the only man. Me and you are my only fans. Holy cow, you're the holy trend. Hold me down when I hold me dick. Be my security.
Wait, Eddie? Okay, this is not his house. He was a renter, and he's straight.
You gotta tell me it's just in my nature. So take it like a taker. Baby, I'm a giver. Ain't no need to hurry. Baby, Eddie.
He closed that U-Haul like that's the end of this chapter.
Ain't no country boy quitter.
That was the equivalent of a flip phone being closed.
2 minutes to warm up to Eddie too when he first. How long? Most of it. Oh shit. Ravi. Okay. Buck and Ravi. I'm living in Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him.
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
It wouldn't be so crazy.
Oh, they are telegraphing this from a mile away. A mile away. Bobby kept calling Ravi Eddie. Oh, jeez. It's all right. Bobby's a little older. It happens.
I think I'm just gonna stick it out. Anna's been the first woman I've wanted to spend this much time with since Shannon.
Stick it out. It's not great talk about someone you're in love with.
My kid loves her.
That enough? Eddie, I have been Anna. I know what it's like to be in love with someone who is not all the way in. Deep down, you know it, and it hurts. So if you don't want to hurt Anna, you owe it to her to be honest.
It just feels like a lot, man.
Ooh. That's brutal.
Use my best colors for your portrait.
Sorry about that.
You okay?
Lay the table with the fancy shit and watch you tolerate it.
What did you need that I didn't give you?
You. Tell me now. Tell me I got it wrong somehow.
I just thought.
I know my love should be celebrated, but you tolerate it.
Oh boy.
You're not scared I'm gonna break your heart anymore.
Not as much. Now the competition's out of the way.
Wait, Eddie? I mean, you're living in the guy's house. What? Okay, this is not his house. He was a renter, and he's straight.
Okay.
Be in love with him?
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
It wouldn't be so crazy.
I mean, does not having him in my life and in the field leave a big hole? Yeah, it does, sure.
For the first time again, it's just like seeing her.
What's your emergency? 911, what's your emergency? Are you practicing answering calls?
I just realized I'm like cutting off some of the video, some of these. Just a bit. Should.
Calls. I'm trying to get that calm and authoritative voice down.
Kick it. With me? Why not? You seem like a fun guy.
He spent a lot of time in Texas FaceTiming Buck for parenting advice. It's pretty amazing that Buck is out there giving parental advice. I mean, that's come a long way. Come a very long way.
Hey, listen, no offense, I'm straight.
And he's straight. Okay.
I just hate to force a date. Feels like I have to perform.
He's dressed up like Snake Plissken.
Thought of her. The idea of us.
I'm taking over all of his.
That was Halloween episode 2, season 2. Nice.
Well, you're wrong, Captain. Forever dating lasts forever. I am committed.
It's always great to see the actors getting along together. Wow. And directed the 8/11 episode. Dang.
So does this
Why do I think that's a lot of people?
mean that you're finally ready to move on from Abby?
Eddie on his fridge has a day calendar under a takeout menu. Thursday, BBPUW/Tommy, and it's circled. He has a cleft.
What? It's the same Tommy?
Yes, the pilot.
Eddie's friend.
Recent friend. We met him at the same
Recent.
time. Everywhere I look is just one big reminder that my best friend is gone, and it sucks. I'm living in Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him?
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
It wouldn't be so crazy.
Well, except that I'm not. As much as everyone seems.
But you know, there is something weird going on across the street.
Using a literal sky telescope.
Wait, why?
Because you're buying.
My own goodbye dinner?
It's a 118 tradition.
Just Michael and Bobby's chaotic friendship.
Don't make me pull that face card out.
Girl, what face card?
911 bringing back Ravi for season 8B because they knew we needed to see his ultra quadruple platinum face card on our screens in exchange for putting us through the ringer.
What face card? This one.
Isn't that illegal? What? No, it's not illegal. Eddie would never do something illegal. Eddie has a silver star.
That is a good friend, by the way. If they're protecting your honor, if you will, behind your back. You're not there, somebody's talking about you, and meanwhile they're going to bat for you. That is huge. Huge. Although it's hard to figure out, if they're talking behind your back, because you have no idea, right? But when you find out.
Oh, we used the jaws of life?
No. It has to fit. I measured it twice. Can't you guys just, turn it around the other way?
Pivot.
Then the pizza will slide up.
He's so cute.
Yeah, he gets that a lot. You should meet his kid, though.
Wait, Jimmy has a kid?
No, I thought...
Miss Kelly, I just don't understand what you're doing here. Please don't film in here.
Why not?
Because it's rude.
Oh, his table is all about the love.
Newsflash, Bobby. They've been filming in there the whole time. And we've been watching it. How about that?
It's tokens of appreciation from the people we serve. Baked goods are big, and cards, we love the cards.
And carbs. We love carbs.
God, jeez. Cute.
We do love carbs.
Okay, you two need to back off. Get that camera out of here, please.
Cab needs room to work.
I'm working too.
You can work further back.
There's truth around us all the time. There's truth right here in this napkin.
I'm sorry.
It's a new kind? Kind of what? Pollen. A new kind of pollen?
These beauty queens shrink. We suddenly giants.
I think he means you guys.
Hey, Athena. Like the tiniest ladies I've ever seen. Teeny tiny.
Teeny tiny.
So tiny.
Henrietta. Dina.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Dina, you smell like love.
Firefighters on LSD.
Guys, look at me. Do you know where you are?
We're everywhere, man.
They're on drugs.
We got a new batch today. We've getting a lot of stuff lately, especially since the earthquake.
But you guys eat this stuff. We just throw this stuff right in the trash.
The firefighters, everybody loves us.
I don't like this. Oh, you made him
That is
cry.
true. That is 100% true. Firefighters are usually the most loved first responders. So it makes sense. I'm sure they get a lot of stuff.
Wait, what do you mean competition?
2 hours later.
Wait, Eddie? And he's straight.
Including affairs. Oh, did I say it?
Abby. Really? This is my new best friend. Isn't that right, Blaze? Isn't that right?
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
Eddie's friend.
Is Eddie would be hopelessly pining for my straight best friend. Abby. Really? This is
I
my
feel
new
like
best
that
friend.
scene is
Isn't that right,
literally
Blaze?
ABC saying,
Are you?
we know what you
Love
want.
Eddie?
We know what you want.
Eddie's friend.
Is Eddie would be hopelessly pining for my straight best friend. If you can bring the gossip, feeling threatened by what me and Eddie have. What? Wow.
No, not wow. Like, wow.
I recently heard Ben Stiller talk about Severance. Apparently he's the main person that writes that show. And he basically said, we don't listen to the fans. I don't look into any of that. I don't look it up. Talking about it, I have no idea. Because I don't want them to influence the show. So that's one stance. And then, of course, you have others that are like, no, we welcome the feedback. If, what people are into, maybe it's a direction we can go. And if you think about it, if you're a writer and people are like vehemently against something or for something or want a pairing or whatever, wouldn't you think it would be in your best interest to grow the numbers or at least make your fans happy to slowly work your way towards that? Maybe it wasn't in the cards at the beginning, but then you're like, oh, people really like these two. Let's put them together. And then people really like this. Kind of weird. I guess it just depends on your point of view or something like that. Maybe you're really artistic and this is my vision. It's my show or my movie. Less a movie, but my show. I want my vision. Or you go, I kind of like what these people are saying. They seem to be super into it. So I'll just kind of add that to the show. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it makes fans more demanding and entitled. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. If they realize they can affect it, they get real entitled. But I don't know. I think it's a win regardless. You know, maybe they become more entitled. They think that they can guide the show. But if you get them a little, you know, sprinkling of what they want or whatever, it might be a good idea. As opposed to completely shutting them
I'm
out.
right by the fire stairs. Like, I could be down there right away.
Josh, you're a dispatcher, not a firefighter. Today, you're a guest in this house.
That's true. That is a good point. Wasn't it Phoebe that figured it out
Maybe she'll let
first?
me do that.
Or was it Joey?
Or not.
Where'd you learn to do that?
For some reason I think it's Phoebe. Josh and Eddie have a feud, kinda.
I'm living in Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him?
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
It wouldn't be so crazy.
Except that I'm not.
Possibly Phoebe. I have this weird, vague memory of seeing Phoebe figure.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, how many times have we seen that clip? I think it's probably not the first time it's been mentioned, but it's definitely important. Like the beginning of it, you can see it.
Hey, Robbie's back.
Hey.
Did you see that TikTok name, Galovich? Little crossover there with Shameless.
I found it! What? I know. I found it! What? I know.
I'm not really with them. I barely know these people. So.
Therefore I must be in love with him?
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
It wouldn't be so crazy.
Except that I'm
I wish I started a counter for this scene.
How is that?
It's Eddie Diaz, new recruit.
So don't forget it. It's just
There's nobody in this world I trust in my son more.
Oh, this is a good one. This is a good angle on it.
You really did that for me.
Showing like through the years.
Now the competition's out of the way.
Wait, competition with who?
Don't make me say it.
Wait, Eddie? He's straight.
Tommy just like, okay, whatever you say.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere.
Wait, Eddie? Living in the guy's house. He was a renter, and he's straight. Okay. You know, I
What's with the blurred face?
sleep with everyone I have feelings for.
Might be an error that doesn't like Tommy.
Are you?
In love with Eddie?
Okay.
It wouldn't be so crazy.
Excellent, excellent compilation. Oh my gosh. Dead Poet Society. Oh. Brutal movie. Great movie. If you haven't seen it, please see it. But wow, that movie hits you hard. Oh my gosh. One of the great Robin Williams movies. Excellent compilation. Let me throw that a like. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some love, and I'll also pop it in the chat here for those watching live. There you go. Excellent. Let's bring up some information on Buck and Eddie and 911 as a whole. Starting with 14 best 911 characters ranked. It was updated December 18th. 911 has kept the adrenaline flowing ever since it premiered in 2018. 911 features inspiring stories that give the main characters a chance to shine through adversity. That's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it. Lots of adversity. Number 14, Abby Clark had a single season role. I think she was brought in as, kind of like star power, if you will. She's been in quite a few big shows. Certainly Friday Night Lights was a good show, and I think she was in Nashville too, right? She was one of the leads. I think the show was called Nashville, which was a huge hit. So Connie Britton was brought in probably as a one season, give it some, oomph of star power kind of thing. Abby Clark, instrumental figure early in 911. She was the call center, had a relationship with Buck that ultimately ran its course. At the end of season 1, she leaves, travels through Ireland and Europe, leaving Buck at. Number 13, Josh Russo, reassuring presence at the call center, supervising dispatcher as of season 7. Recurring character at the call center. Doesn't mean Josh is out of the action. He played in many significant stories in the series. Goes on a date, who ends up mugging him. Yikes. Later, she and her friend take over the call center. Josh cares greatly for his colleagues, and his skills as a dispatcher often save people from further harm. For 12, Michael Grant is a character who isn't a first responder. Relationship with Athena doesn't define. Debuted in season 1, left in season 5. Between seasons, Michael experienced a brain tumor that could have been fatal. Oh my gosh. But the doctors were able to shrink it. I'm assuming through some sort of chemo or something like that. I'm not exactly up on tumor shrinking, but I think that usually involves chemo, if I'm not incorrect. Michael met a doctor named David who fell in love, eventually prompting Michael to propose. Number 11, Taylor Kelly is a strong-willed reporter. She's also Buck's on-again, off-again. Mostly off at this point, I'm assuming. Ryan Murphy asked her, but she didn't want to sign to another long run after Nashville. I get that. I totally get that. Abby left and Buck was in her house. Now Eddie has left and Buck is in his house. It's all going full circle indeed. Josh's date was male, not female, gay bashing and mugging. Weird they wrote she. Oh, yeah, that's completely different. Interesting. Huh. Well, that definitely adds context. Taylor Kelly, very controversial, hated a lot. Really? Occasional difficult relationship. Get together in season 2, break up, get together again, season 4. Demonstrates her ability to forgive quickly and move on, but ultimately Taylor and Buck are not meant to. Hot take. If you're in an on again, off again, just be off. Just be off. Call it. Time of death. Whatever. Just call it. Christopher Diaz brings a personal touch to 911, grown from an excitable child to a precocious teenager. What a word. Christopher Diaz is the teenage son of, obviously, Eddie. We've been watching these reactions for any period of time. We've gone over this. Christopher has grown from an excitable child, precocious. Even though he's the youngest member of the main cast, always had optimism and wisdom entwined in his personality. Understands a lot about the world around him. The perspective of a child when it comes to dangerous work, being a first responder, adds an extra layer of realness to the story. This is seen in season 6, episode 11, when Chris visits Buck by his hospital bed and speaks with a heart-wrenching blend of childlike pain and adult maturity. Number 9, Ravi adds new blood to the series. As the newbie, he has a humorous learning curve. 9/11's most recent addition to 118. Probationary firefighter learning the ropes from the other firefighters around him. It's kind of interesting because, you have these, certainly the first ones coming through in the first couple seasons, and then you have a whole new class, like X-Men new class. You get to see them as the mentors, which is fascinating. Ravi's youthful energy and newness when it comes to intricacies of firefighting make him a great addition to any firehouse scene. He accidentally curses the firehouse by breaking superstition by saying the word quiet aloud. Oh, gosh. That's not good. Yeah, as soon as you bring up the fact that it's been quiet for a while, boom, there's a call. Ravi's not just comedic relief, though. Lack of experience also results in emotional moments where he has to glimpse and wrestle with the harsh realities of being a firefighter. Well, as with all, first responders, I've said this before, but as with all first responder professions or jobs, they all involve risk. Certainly less risk if you're a dispatcher, because you're in a nice building and whatnot, but you do have to be up on it, right? You have to be aware of what you're hearing, especially if it's an emergency call. You have to know what to do, when to do, how to do it. But certainly if you're running into a burning building or you're doing a traffic stop or hostage situation, or maybe it's getting, a kitten out of a tree or something. Who knows? There's risks involved. Anytime you go on a ladder or anything like that, the worst can happen, right? I was actually in a job where I had to take a ladder safety course. I took a ladder safety course, which was hilarious. But it's all part of it, right? Companies trying to protect their rear end. She makes divisive choices. Her reporter ethics were not great. Ooh, dirty reporter. You got to wake up Buck from Chris was heartbreaking. May Grant, number 8, shows resilience that can be genetic. She also grows from a teenager to a college student. Boy, from teenager to college student is a heck of a growth period. You've been through it, you certainly know, or if you're going through it right now, you definitely know. It's a lot of changes. May Grant is the daughter of Athena and Michael, stepdaughter of Bobby. May is a strong girl who's only grown stronger through the struggles she has endured. When she was younger, she struggled with her changing home environment, bullying at school, put her in a dark mental place. Part of her family, she overpowered her demons, took inspiration from her family to help others. Nice. Season 5, episode 16, Mayday. May is put in danger when the 911 call center catches on fire. Jeez. But she is an emotional rock as she fights to survive. Number 7, Maddie Buckley. Commendable inner strength, practically raised Buck. Yeah, anybody who's raised a sibling has a lot of strength. Because it's quite a toll on you. Especially if you're young too and having to take on that responsibility, that is a lot. So if you've had to do that, or you've been in that situation, or you knew somebody, you definitely know. Maddie had to balance being a surrogate parent as well as a teenager in an abusive relationship that would later dominate the next few years of her life and take away from her family. Maddie's strength would only continue to grow as she became a 911 operator, later survived a kidnapping by her abusive ex-husband. Season 2, episode 13, which ended with her ending, we'll say, him in self-defense. That is a Lifetime movie right there. now that Maddie has a safe space, she blossomed and continued. If you're unaware, Lifetime is like a women-focused channel here in the U.S., and almost every movie that they produce has to do with some sort of like self-defense ending, a abusive relationship or stalker or something like that. Like almost all of them. It's like just put it on repeat, basically. Number 6, Howard Chimney on Never Gives Up. He smiles through all the trauma he has experienced. Chimney has been through hell and back, yet still manages to roll up to station 118 every day with a smile on his face. It's definitely one thing I've noticed in a lot of these edits is that Chimney, or Chim, is quite the humorous character. Kind of keeps things lighter, I suppose. The abusive ex was played by Jennifer's real-life husband, who is also an actor. Oh my gosh. Wow. Talk about acting. That's wild. That is wild to co-star with your real-life spouse and have to do an abusive relationship. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Chimney's best characteristic is his ability to stay strong while keeping a positive attitude. That is so huge in most situations. Life throws a lot of curveballs, right? Where you've been through them. Just somehow keeping a positive outlook or attitude on it is just huge. It helps in so many situations. It's crazy what just thinking positively can do. Sometimes it's hard. I guarantee. I've been there. I've been there where it's hard to keep positive, but it's amazing what it can do. It's so weird to see their family photos now. Oh my gosh, I bet it is. Nothing will stop Chimney from being there for the ones he loves, doing it all with optimism. Number 5, Eddie, of course, helped evolve 911 into a better series. 911 was never the same after Eddie joined Station 118. The series had an excellent foundation with pulse-pounding action sequences, profound emotional moments for the victims and first responders. Adding Eddie to the series paved the way for a deeper exploration of the challenges faced by first responders. Army veteran who experienced trauma while serving abroad, all while working hard to support a son with cerebral palsy. Incredibly complex character. Eddie's journey through addressing his mental health and doing his best with Christopher helped shape 911 and how family and mental health were portrayed in the series. Definitely a very important character. This week was Ryan Guzman's 100th episode. Nice. Very nice. Hen Wilson stays cool while fighting fires. Number 4. Her team depends on her skill set. Firefighter paramedic faced discrimination and ostracism. Oh, God. I saw it on the page and I'm like, I haven't said this word in such a long time. I'm going to screw it up. And I did. Ostracization. There we go. Good grief. When she decided to become a firefighter, 911's Hen was inspired into her career by paramedics who saved her life as a teenager from a stray bullet. Yikes. The series progresses, it's clear that Hen will also inspire others how she was inspired years ago. Quality is her natural skill for being cool under pressure. That is huge in those situations. She leads the rescue of Bobby and Athena's sinking cruise ship. Is the level-headed team member this bunch needs, even more so that she can match the chaotic energy when appropriate. Apparently, the stray bullet as a teen story is a real story. Are you serious? Wow. She let them include it in the show. Dang. I gotta say, that's pretty cool. Number 1, that she allowed him to use it, of course. But number 2, the fact that they, use the actors, some of the actors, real life moments, adversity or struggle or whatever, or maybe something positive as well, and include it in the show. That's really neat. I'm sure that was weird to relive that. Evan Buckley has fantastic character growth in 911. Storyline is one of self-discovery. 3. Fan favorite character for good reasons. Joined the team as a freewheeling, womanizing daredevil. That was made very clear in the first episode. Under the mentorship of his captain, Bobby Nash, and the others on the team, Buck's raw edges have been tempered. He's able to still be himself while not being reckless. It's pretty, honestly, it's pretty obvious when someone's being reckless, whether they know it or not. And it's amazing how you can kind of watch or observe just the moments that they're making things harder on themselves. Like it's brutal to watch from the outside because you can't really make decisions for them. Obviously, they have free will. And sometimes it feels weird to like bring it up and like, hey, I noticed you doing this, maybe you should try doing this. Like you can't, force it or like bring it up randomly. Like it really needs to be them bringing it up to you. And then you can carefully give some advice. But it's pretty awful to see it from the outside looking in. Even though Buck is not the reckless individual he once was, his growth isn't over. Buck realizes his jealousy over fire department helicopter pilot Tommy befriending Eddie wasn't jealousy, but attraction. He warns he has some self-discovery to do. Adds it to the to-do list. Storyline of growth, self-discovery makes him an endlessly compelling character. Number 2, Athena brings order to the chaos. No-nonsense police officer. Although I will say, I've read it before, and I think people have mentioned it, that Tommy has opinions, clearly. Yes, he does. That scene is like ingrained into my head now. Like it's just, I can close my eyes and watch it. We're in the kitchen. I think a lot of people have said that Athena's been softened a little by Bobby, and just kind of finding happiness and being in that, and so that's good, at least. Number 1, Bobby has rebuilt his life in 911. A good point. Captain Bobby, Captain Nash, if you will, had a rocky start to his firefighting captaincy in L.A. Fish out of water, carried nearly insurmountable guilt on his shoulders from the building fire that killed his family and many others, as shown in Season 2, Episode 16. As he worked to make amends for his past mistakes, he didn't see how many lives he was changing right in front of his eyes. Brought the 118 together by smoothing the edges of his firefighters and bringing them together into a solid unit, made them more of a team. Bobby Nash is a major factor in 911 being such a success. Yes, indeed. Obviously, Angela Bassett was a big star power for the show, but I think Connie Britton also added to it. What is this 5 out of 10? Who's giving this a 5 out of 10? What is happening here? This is 10 out of 10. I don't know what the heck this 5 out of 10 is. That seems very low. Very low. 911, Leslie Ann Warren guests as Bobby's mother. Ooh. Plus see Aisha Hines directing. Okay. Well, this is going to be awkward for Bobby. 911 is bringing his mother into the present day. Season 8, Episode 11, and there's something about her he hasn't told his wife, Athena. Uh-oh. As a promo for Holy Mother of God reveals his mother is an evangelist, and just as she's seemingly helping someone, people start collapsing. The faithful are dropping like flies, the person who calls 911 says. When the 118, without Eddie, of course, who has now moved to Texas, arrives on scene, Anna tells Bobby, "You look well," and Jim asks if he knows her. Bobby reveals she's his mother. Oh boy. Athena has one important question. When were you going to tell me that your mother wasn't dead? Oh. Oh. Bobby explains she is a fraud and a con artist. It's embarrassing. Okay. Well, even so, you should probably mention it. Just saying. Bobby was in the wrong there, for sure. She's one of those pretend faith healer types. Oh, okay. You're healed. You're healed. I gotcha. I will say, though, if you look those up on YouTube after this, if you look those up on YouTube, they are kind of funny. They are definitely funny. It's good quality entertainment there. Bobby also never said she was dead. Oh, gotcha. So it's lying by omission, I suppose. Okay. But then the promo ends with Anne collapsing and Bobby begging her to stay with him as he performed CPR. Looking ahead to this episode, Bassett teased for TV Insider, Athena loves Bobby, but of course he has this real complicated backstory. That's putting it mildly. History with his parents, with his family. He's a complicated guy who's really always trying to, I guess, resolve that conflict, that inner conflict. But Athena was unaware of the relationship between he and his mother, and she's just very excited to finally meet her. Of course, Bobby is none too happy to see her and have her in town, but Athena is all about family and blending family as they have, so we'll actually see those dynamics play out. Oh my gosh. That's wild. That is absolutely wild. Surprise mother appearance. By pledging $10 a month, you too can be saved. 911 Season 8, Episode 11 review. Despite the appearance of Bobby's mother, it's Buck's reunion with an ex that has my jaw on the floor. Really? Directorial debut of 911 star Aisha Hines, plays Henrietta Wilson. It also marks the first time a 911 cast member has stepped behind the camera to helm an episode for the series. Wow, huge. It is in many ways a classic outing for the long-running procedural. Emergencies that the 118 responds to are kooky, but there are also variations on emergencies that have been done at least a few times before. Conflict between Bobby and his mother is also familiar, but it's elevated by the actors' performances. Renewed focus on Eddie and Buck. Eddie is everywhere. He's all Buck can talk about, which is somewhat understandable. Bobby reunites with his mother. Oh, he's getting talking to. That's that finger. That's that mom finger where you know something's wrong. Oh, no. Oh, no. Bulk of Holy Mother focuses on Bobby reconnecting with his mother. After an opening scene that underlines how Buck is struggling to adjust to living in Eddie's home, focus turns to Anne. Waxing poetic about the healing powers of faith in Jesus. The episode never really comes down on the side of whether Anne is doing a genuine service or preying on the vulnerable, oscillating wildly and mirroring the journey that Bobby goes through in the episode. I don't think they have to. I think just having the storyline is interesting. Primary purpose of this scene is to reintroduce Anne and Bobby's younger brother, Charlie. Something strange breaks out during one of her services. Looks like a mass hysteria outbreak, albeit it's actually a case of carbon monoxide poisoning. Yikes. I've been seeing a lot of stories of that lately on the news. Tons. Carbon monoxide poisoning. Usually fatal. It's all fairly familiar territory. So, just PSA here. Get yourself a carbon monoxide alert or whatever. Plug it in the wall. It goes off if it recognizes it. Air. Save yourself. Up to and including the woman who nearly climbs to her death and needs to be rescued by the team. Hines has a bit of fun with the emergency, especially in revealing how Anne's audience starts to behave erratically. Choice to frame Buck as Jesus himself as he tries to save the woman who has climbed too high for her own good. Similarly amusing. Once everything's under control, Bobby mentions the 118 that the woman he shares a frosty greeting with is actually his mother. Also have a carbon monoxide alarm? Absolutely. Absolutely. Always. Always. I actually didn't have one for a couple years when I moved in here, but I eventually got one. I did. And they last for like a decade or something. So they're not very expensive. Bobby says that he never mentions his mom because he doesn't like to talk about her, calls her a fraud and a con artist. And he's embarrassed about the fact that she fleeces her flock. That reminds me of that video of that pastor that just happened where he said, lock the doors, close the doors, barricade the doors or whatever. And he's like, I need 40 grand. Unbelievable. I don't know if you've seen that video, but it is wild. Athena's the most surprised, of course. As they talk about this soapy twist, while some heavy construction goes on in their new home, it's hard not to crack a smile. When were you going to tell me that your mother wasn't dead? Athena wonders. I didn't say that she was, Bobby points out. It's a way for the show to wink at the fact that a significant character is just now being weaved into the story, but it works. Bobby says that he never mentions his mom because he doesn't like to talk about her. After some nudging from Athena and after meeting at a firehouse with his brother goes well, Bobby agrees to meet with his mother. Proves to be a mistake. Oh boy. Bobby feels that Anne abandoned him after his father died. Ooh. Refusing to claim responsibility or express remorse. Oy. Anne says she won't apologize for building a life for herself once her marriage to the abusive alcoholic Tim Nash ended. It's stirring stuff, well acted by both of them. Bobby storming off after calling Anne a fraud as a mother. Oh boy. Buck is advised to make a new friend. Probably shouldn't be Ravi though. Buck's having a hard time sleeping at Eddie's place and staying with Maddie and Howard instead. This is not surprising. Howard isn't thrilled about having Buck there every night. Oh my gosh. Have you ever slept over at a friend's house? This was many years ago. Whether it's a sleepover or whatever, and you just get that feeling that comes over you like you're not in the right place. And maybe you sleep over and you wake up the next morning and you're like, I got to get out of here. I got to leave now. Just immediately in that like weird, uncomfortable, I shouldn't be here vibe. I don't know why that is the case, but I always felt that. Always. Like, come pick me up immediately. Be here 10 minutes ago. Father was an alcoholic and died falling drunk, basically. Oh, jeez. That's when child Bobby starts drinking? Oh, boy. That is too bad. Too bad indeed. I like how the episode makes it clear that Maddie isn't ready to talk about what she went through with the crazed detective, but I wish Buck pushed just a little harder to check in with his sister. Maddie acts as her brother's sounding board, listens patiently, offers a bit of advice. That Buck should try to make new friends, obviously with Eddie gone, lacking in it. He was kidnapped again. Oh, good grief. He tried to buddy up with Ravi. Buck can barely bring himself to stop talking about Eddie. Buck still can't stop talking about Eddie, and he's out drinking with Ravi. Oh. Bored out of his mind, Ravi finds an opportunity to slink away from the outing when he runs into Tommy at the bar. It's unclear how much Ravi knows about Buck and Tommy's history when he sticks them together and practically runs in the opposite direction. Oh gosh, that's a classic move. If you're ever looking to leave a situation, find somebody that you know or looks interesting and then pair them up with whoever you're talking to or trying to leave. That is such a classic, an absolute classic. Oh, hey, have you met blah, blah, blah? Okay, bye-bye. Fucking Tommy's argument is one to remember. Tommy says what we're all thinking. Oh, yeah, the kitchen scene. Buck and Tommy catch up briefly while Buck is clumsily telling his ex about Maddie's abduction. Only a few short beats later that Buck and Tommy are frantically giddily kissing in Eddie's apartment. There's a lot to appreciate about Ferrigno's return, like the underplayed bit of dialogue when Tommy mentions that Eddie stopped talking to him after the breakup, and Buck smiles at his best friend's quiet solidarity. It's also an amusing moment in which Tommy pauses the makeout session to marvel at how Buck is living in Eddie's apartment. The fight that the exes have the morning after is more of a mixed bag. It is the clearest sign yet that Buddy is on the horizon. And it doesn't involve either side of the fan favorite pairing. Tommy has made Buck breakfast, admitting that he wants to give the relationship another try, especially because the competition's out of the way. Oh, Tommy's crawling back for more. In one of the TikToks, there was a neck slash injury on Maddie. Pretty sure that's her souvenir. Oh my God. Buck and Tommy's happy morning is soured when Buck realizes that his ex saw Eddie as competition. Tommy doesn't back down. He scoffs when Buck points out that Eddie is straight, which is an unexpectedly huge clue about where Eddie's storyline might be headed. Buck says, I don't have to sleep with everyone I have feelings for, and I don't have to have feelings for everyone I sleep with. There's a lot going on in that sentence. Yeah, there is. For the third time in as many weeks, there's a lot going on with Buddy. In a few crucial ways, it's smart. It's smart to have one of Buck's exes, who also knows Eddie well enough, call them out on what they don't realize. Yeah, it was a very important scene. That's probably why we saw it 18 times. Commit that to memory. That was the turning point. Bobby patches things up with his mother. Receives some devastating news, too. Uh-oh. Looks like she's in the hospital. Kara explains to Bobby and Athena that Anne has terminal cancer. Oh, boy. She didn't want Bobby to know, likely not wanting to burden him. Writing on 911 is far from the sharpest, but what elevates it by this silly show launched a franchise is that it lucked out with a core cast that is absolutely in tune with their characters. Like This Is Us, it tosses in the regrettably relatable trappings of losing a parent to an illness and leans on the actors to sell it. Look, it's one of the things I've said before, and I'll say it again, that made the TV show Scrubs so incredibly good is that, yes, it is a goofy, joyous, ridiculous. It's got some like childish humor in it. It's got some, like dad humor, if you will. And it's just over the top goofy. But what makes it amazing is the fact that they had such great emotional writing in it. Just completely catching you off guard. It absolutely catches you off guard and it hits you like a ton of bricks. It is unbelievable how they do that. 1 second, it's the goofiest thing you've ever seen in your life. JD and Dr. Cox going back and forth. And the next, it's somebody just bawling their eyes out. And it's usually you. Usually you. Oh my gosh, it was unbelievable whiplash. That is a great way to put it. Whiplash. And those emotional scenes, some of them still in my head, are just really relatable. They really hit hard. It's unbelievable. Like, I don't know who they had writing some of those shows, but they nailed it. It's almost like they had two separate writer. Like they had the comedy room and they had the we're going to break your heart room. It's just unbelievable. So to have, a little bit of humor, a little bit of chaos, a little trauma, but also to have this, just emotionally gripping ability in 911 is fantastic. It is truly what makes a good show great. Buck and Maddie have another revealing postmortem. Hewitt's expressions tell the whole story. There's a good one right there. Like, uh-huh. Right. And then Buck. What? Eddie? Huh? Uh-huh. And another echo of Buck, bothered and bewildered. Heart to heart about his personal life and where Eddie fits into it. Buck rants about Tommy. Buck insists there's no truth to Tommy's concerns, declaring that he isn't, hopelessly pining for his straight best friend. She says it wouldn't be so crazy. She says the idea of Buck and Eddie having feelings for each other, choosing her words and inflection very carefully. That is amazing. Excellently done. Excellently done. Maddie's big sister. I know you, dude faces. Yeah, absolutely. That's so good. That is so good. Oh my gosh. Next up, we'll go back to 911 shortly. Well, towards the end of the stream. Next up is One Tree Hill. Pretty entertaining show. I've reacted to the first couple episodes on toddreacts.com. Pretty entertaining. And I recently saw a reel, TikTok or short, whatever, one of the three, that involved Nathan and Lucas, their characters, well, the actors, doing a, gosh, what is this trend? It's the trend where you do like a pose that you did many years ago, and then they show the old photo. And they did a pose from One Tree Hill, and they were wearing what they were wearing in the show. It was very funny. I'm like, oh my gosh. Number one, they've aged a little bit. They have. It's been a few years, like 20. But they still look very similar to their characters. Like, they haven't aged that much. This was my younger brother's show. I never saw it, really. I remember when it was on. It was, oh my gosh, it was the talk of the school. Like, everybody who was into this show talked about it nonstop. Like, truly. I was actually going to make a Naily TikTok compilation to request for you, but I saw someone else already did. Nice. Nice. Maybe sometime in the future. This and Glee, I think of them as his. Oh my gosh. Yeah. One Tree Hill. And I remember Chad Michael Murray winning a ton of, was it Kid Choice Awards? Nickelodeon Kid Choice Awards or no, People's Choice Awards? I can't remember. But he was winning a lot of them for being like the hottest actor or something like that. I remember that. I'm just like, who is this guy? Because I was never watching One Tree Hill. It just wasn't something I was into back then. I don't even know what I was into back then. What was I watching? 2010? No. Came out before that, didn't it? There's no way. Wait a minute. Came out 2003. Ooh. Yeah, 2003. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I was in high school around there. Yeah, it was the talk of the school. One Tree Hill, Glee, what else? Vampire Diaries. I remember some folks talking about that. Unfortunately, all shows that I missed or didn't partake in, so I could not contribute at all to those conversations. So now, 20 years later, I'm finally getting involved. Isn't that amazing? Shout out to the toddreacts.com members that request these shows. I'm finally in the loop 20 years later. It was such a comfort show for me. Honestly, I see it. A lot of these early 2000s shows, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the lesser film quality or something, but there's a comfortness to it. Like, something about them, like it's not as sharp, It's not as clear as current stuff. It's not like 4K. The lighting's great. The sets are amazing. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit nostalgia for me, kind of seeing that time period. But something about it. I was watching a reel, and it was just like, movies and shows have kind of lost that bit of, I don't know, relatability, comfort. It's hard to explain. It gives you a feeling. It gives you a feeling that it's not too overproduced. There's no CGI, anything like that. It's really comforting in a way. I was more Buffy and Angel at the time. I think in 2003, I was watching Smallville and House MD. Oh gosh, what else? Those were the two that I was really into. Maybe a little Fringe. My dad was really into Fringe, so it would be on the TV. So I just watch a couple episodes. What else? Well, I was playing a lot of video games. That was probably a lot of my time as well. Let's be honest. I was into CSI too. CSI, the original CSI with the gosh, what's the actor's name? I can't even. Oh no, I see him. He had the sunglasses. That became such a meme. Wanted to study forensics because of CSI. I think that was a lot of people. I think that was a lot of people. Hilary Duff and Chad Michael Murray and Cinderella. Yep. I remember that. David Caruso. That's it. Oh, yes. Classic. That was CSI Miami. Oh, okay. It's hard to get those in. Hard to get those straight. Yeah, I do remember quite a few people like. And what was that show? It was Blacklist that came out, and everyone's just like, I want to be an FBI. What are they called? FBI like investigator, something like that. Like that became huge as well. Chad Michael Murray, you just Googled him. He looks pretty much the same, plus 20 years. And his hair is a little longer. But he looks pretty much the same. He's aged very well. Very well. All right. Let's pull up One Tree Hill TikTok compilation. No, David Caruso. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I haven't seen him in the longest time. David Caruso. All right. I don't know if this is going to be in the correct place. Let me quick play like 1 second to see if I. Okay, yeah. We're there. Cool. All right. Go ahead and jump in. Let me unmute it. Otherwise, we're not going to hear anything. And we're just playing guessing games. Kicking off with Taylor Swift, of course.
You say
Hi, baby.
You scared me, you wonderful man. Daddy's home, Daddy's home.
Well done on that edit. Well done.
It's my birthday.
I hate to break it to you, kiddo, but your birthday was yesterday. You slept right through it.
Whatever, Mom. Mom.
Happy birthday! Mom!
Mm.
I can't believe you're 4 already.
7.
Oh, would you settle for 5?
Would you settle for 5? Yeah, there is a Taylor Swift video coming up. Should be interesting. Although I listen to some of her music for these, obviously, I don't really keep track of her, so I don't know what's going on. Obviously, I know the Eras tour was very profitable, $1 billion tour.
He's on the door, man. He's on the damn door under me. Prove that it haunts me. I will love you. I'm sorry the way. Maybe one day I'll get married and you'll be my maid of honor. And during your toast, you'll make everyone cry, and I'll finally see tears from my father. Maybe our kids will be best friends.
Wait a minute. I just realized something. To me, and maybe to us, or some of us, these shows that are standard definition, not high definition, or certainly not very high definition, it's comforting to us. But those that have grown up on high definition, 1080, 4K, they probably look at this like it's some like relic from the 60s, 1960s. Oh, that's so disappointing. Maybe this has no comfort to them at all. And they just look at this like, ugh, this looks awful. Meanwhile, to us, it's like, ah, the good old days, the quaint days of a little less quality. Something familiar about it. Don't make us feel old.
We'll live down the street from each other. Maybe I'll smile 'cause your daughter laughs like her mother.
Me a bitch. Bitch? No. No, I did not call you a bitch. I said I didn't like you.
That'd been funny if she said it after that.
Because they said there was no chance trying to be the greatest in the league.
Come on now. Come on now. Pulling the Michael Jordan. That was definitely a nod to Michael Jordan. Number 23, not looking at the basket, taking a free throw, making it. I think the story goes, somebody was talking trash to him or something like that, or maybe he was talking trash. But you can literally see it. You can pull it up on YouTube. He closed his eyes at the free throw line and made it. Just said something to him. I'm sure it was absolutely wild. Like, I can beat you with my eyes closed, probably.
Hey, I'm sorry we lost, but Nathan's gonna need consoling.
And you're the consolation prize? Oh, I like the way you think, roommate.
Excuse me, aren't you Kelly Clarkson? You want to try saying that to my face?
Huh, I thought witches were supposed to melt. Welcome to
Oh, wow.
Did you know that Daddy didn't like you once?
You don't say.
Me and Peyton broke up.
Peyton and I.
She broke up with you too? I need to be tutored. I think I'm failing marriage.
You try sleeping with the teacher?
Good news. What, I'm adopted?
You need some extra money. I could always be your sugar mom.
Anybody ever tell you that you're kind of pretty, Haley James Scott?
Does Chris Keller count?
bitch, you are lucky you're
Why does he remind me of a super young Nathan Fillion? Does anybody else see that?
lucky that I'm pregnant. I think it's time you get your insecure, cheating, skank ass out of this house right now.
I'm trying to hit this. I guess I could take one too. I don't think I could take much more. It ain't right if I fake what's true. I looked in the mirror and saw your ass. I probably would hate me too. I go pedal to metal, this car go fast. She like when I make that room.
Skank hits. So rarely used that when it's used, you're just like, whoa.
Oh, that's right. You already did that, didn't you?
Thirst trap. Gotta include at least one, right? Oh. Where's the counter?
Good boy.
Lights will guide you home and ignite.
Never too far away. That's where the counter is. Never too far away.
Close over, bros.
Close over, bros.
That's so, oh my gosh. That's so meta. That is wildly meta. They actually got Gavin DeGraw to come into the show.
Feeling stronger was small, turn to a friendship turn to a bond, and that bond will never be broken, the love will never get lost. And when brotherhood come first, then the line will never be crossed. Established it on our own when that line had to be drawn, and that line is what we reach, so remember me when I'm gone.
They had him in the first season too? That's awesome. Wonder if that was one of the stipulations for using the song.
I miss you too, little brother. Hold every memory as you go, and every road you take will always.
Everybody to the wild, wild west. A state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your chest. Like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sun.
Scarlet Bardorian Carnage will launch you the greatest thing to ever exist.
Once again, the smart girl is really stupid.
Oh gosh. What makes school so brutal is that you have, you know, if you have any sort of falling out or something like that, or maybe a breakup, you literally have to see them every day. That is the worst. One of the greatest benefits you have of being an adult is you never have to see them again, ever. Unless you work for them or work with them, then that's a problem. And that's your own fault. That's your own fault.
She's my wife, Dad. Really? Well, someone may want to tell her that.
Yes, I've never seen that before. I love it. I've never seen that before. I love it. Yes. Oh my gosh, that's cathartic. Oh, that's cathartic.
Well, the dancing's not so good. But okay, good game, Daddy.
That was beautiful.
Did you hear that? He just said ball. I swear he just said ball. He said ball, man.
He's definitely your son.
I was in a small town and so many people were cousins. You didn't fall out with one person, but like 10 cousins. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Everybody knows everybody, so it's just, oh gosh. It's brutal.
I love you. Have I told you lately what a great husband you are?
Come here.
Bye.
Sorry.
It does sound awful. Oh my gosh. I was one of those people that I knew of all the, the drama and the fallouts and kind of stuff, but I was never in it myself. Made a conscientious decision to try to stay out of it as much as humanly possible, just to make the whole experience smoother. And, I look back fondly on those years. I know a lot of people don't. And, they hate it or whatever, but I look back at it and I kind of enjoyed it, minus the actual school part. That part, I could do without. But the rest of it is pretty fun.
With your dad?
I don't recommend
No,
school in the
you're right.
countryside.
Something's different.
It's my walls. Check my
Cornwall.
sketches down.
Arse end of nowhere for non-Brits.
What sketches?
What? Yes, I had a second bowl. I was hungry.
Meanwhile, I think our school had, if I remember correctly, I think we had 3,200 students. It was pretty decent size. And there was like 3 other high schools in the area, so it was pretty busy.
Not that, I was just remembering.
Remembering what?
Your hair. You wore it that way the first day you tutored me.
You remember how I wore my hair the first day I tutored you?
Of course.
What else do you remember?
So I guess you could kind of get lost in there.
Let's see, these jeans.
Mm-hmm.
You wore them the day we fell asleep in the park together. And these shoes. You wore these the day we got stuck at the DMV for 5 hours. Wow.
Dang,
We
he's
waited
winning
for your
points
license
like
for the
crazy
last
right
10
now.
Mm.
He's scoring better than he does in the basketball games right now. That's incredible memory. Well done, sir. Well done.
What about my shirt?
You wore that shirt one morning when you sat in the living room. You were playing that Beatles song on your guitar. The sun just framed your face so perfectly.
Blackbird. That was the name of the Beatles song I played.
It's a great
I
song.
remember more than you think.
Nailed it. Nailed it. Well done. Well done. Well done. Just killed it. I wish I had memory that good. Me too. Me too. No, Nathan is the unrealistic standard. Let's get that right.
Haley! I'm going to Duke.
I'm pregnant.
Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. That was very much like, I'm going to Duke, which is a very good basketball school if you're unfamiliar. Hugely good, like massively good. One of the best. And also a very good education as well. It's very expensive. But wow, that was definitely a one-up, like instantly. Like, I'm going to Duke. and I'm pregnant. Wow, wow. I feel like they got to play the wow, 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 wow.
This world, the rest of us just live on it.
Oh my gosh.
Every girl here wanna be a. Oh, she's a diva.
Obviously, it's a good thing that,
I guess that's a thank you in Brook World.
they're having a family or whatever, but good grief, the timing.
He laughs at her eyes, at her smile, the glasses on her face. She loves how he talks late at night when there's no one else to.
Wow. What a situation that was. Wow, there's so many ups and downs in this show that I was unaware of.
Get your own life. Okay, that just sounds weird.
I'll go, whoever they are.
Bobcats.
All right, well, I love bobcats. They're so cute.
Such a
I know.
Bobcats.
Once a bobcat, always a bobcat.
What?
I'm a point guard for the Charlotte Bobcats.
You're in the
I'm in the NBA.
Boom. I take your pregnant and I raise you and I'm NBA player. What a video. Oh my gosh. Great compilation. Lots of stuff in there that I've never seen before. Wow. Counted 6 Taylor songs. Dang. That might be a record. Gonna go ahead and throw that some love. The third like of the video, 21 views. This was the 22nd view. Wow. So, well, many more people are going to watch this. That is incredible. Link down below in the YouTube video description for the original video. Go throw it some love like I just did. Also check out their channel. They might have other videos that you might be into. Maybe you want to request them to be on the stream. I'll go ahead and throw the link in the Twitch chat for those watching live. There's a counter we should start doing for these compilations. Yeah, that's a good point. That is a very good point. Oh my gosh. Whew. Speaking of whiplash. I'm going to Duke. I'm pregnant. What? Oh my gosh. All right, let's bring up some information on One Tree Hill. All righty. We've looked at this, obviously. We're just going to do a little refresher. Maybe there's some information here that I missed previously. Oh, okay. At the beginning of the 5th season, Swan advanced the timeline by 4 years to show their lives after college. Kind of smart, honestly. College years can, I don't know, kind of a weird thing to write around. Featured a new storyline supported by flashbacks to their college years. That's smart. So you don't have to show all of it. You just do some flashback scenes. Later, Swan made a jump a further 14 months from the end of the 6th to the start of the 7th. Oh, the opening credits were originally accompanied by the song I Don't Want to Be, as we heard in that compilation. The theme was removed from the opening of the 5th season. Swan said that this was to lower production costs. Oh, so it costs money to get that song. That makes sense, though. It was a very big song for that time. It definitely was on the billboards, sure. Actually, let's find out. Peaked at number 10 in the United States in 2005. Became a top 20 hit in Australia, Canada, the Netherlands, Norway, and Sweden. Peaked at number 27 in the UK singles chart. Oh, in 2012 because of the finale. Oh, so it went up the charts again. Dang. Interesting. They had other people cover the song for the intro in the later seasons. That makes sense, honestly. They skipped college altogether. Honestly, it kind of makes sense. I mean, especially if they went to other schools and whatnot, that's a lot. Like, that's going to up the production cost to have the different sets, and schools, and all that stuff. That might be a little too much. The lower production costs to add more time for the storyline, and because he felt the song was more representative of the course character's adolescent past than present maturity. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, that's really well thought out. They thought of everything. The theme was restored for season 8 in response to audience demand. Audience said, bring that back. Was sung by a different artist each episode. That's interesting. Premiered to 2.5 million viewers, rose to 3.3 in its second week. Received numerous award nominations, winning 2 Teen Choice Awards. The show is the 4th longest running series on the CW network, or the networks that came together to make up CW. WB, UPN, those were the stations that I used to watch when I was a kid. After Supernatural, Seventh Heaven, and Smallville. Wait a minute. In August 2024, it was reported that a revival of the series was in development, with Bush and Burton returning while conversations with other cast members were ongoing. Wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. 9th season only had 13 episodes. Interesting. Oh, whoa. Fell off a little bit. 3.8, 4.3, 3, 3, 3, basically 3. That kind of dropped season 7. A little bit. Kind of fell off. They had other people cover the song. I also think they saw how other teen shows did college and how people didn't like it. Probably makes sense, yeah. I remember when Saved by the Bell did the college years, and I just completely lost interest. I was like, I don't care about this. 15 best One Tree Hill characters ranked. Number 15, Lucas Scott. Whoa. Starting off at 15. That's wild. Protagonist of the show. I was thinking Saved by the Bell too. Yeah. While Lucas is one of the show's better characters, he does have some detractors who find him extremely selfish, especially regarding his love life. The love triangle between him, Peyton, and Brooke often causes debate. Lucas is a complicated character. Indeed. Many admire Lucas for not only being a great basketball player, but for also having dreams, aspirations outside of basketball, like his writing. Number 14, Clay Evans. Robert Buckley joined the cast in season 7 after Chad Michael Murray and Hillary Burton Morgan left the series. Oh. Wait a minute. Season 7. It's starting to make sense. It's starting to. I'm putting 2 and 2 together right there. Clay is Nathan's agent, revealed during the 14-month time jump between season 6 and 7. Clay moved to Tree Hill after the death of his wife, Sarah. Died suddenly from an aneurysm. I mean, is there anything more terrifying than a sudden aneurysm like that? Oh my gosh. I don't even know if there's any like warning signs or something like that. Like, it's just brutal. Happened to John Ritter. In a very good show. 8 Simple Rules, I think it was called. I thought it was hilarious. Clay helped fill the void left by Lucas, but was only able to carve his own character into Tree Hill rather than being a carbon copy of Lucas. For 13, Peyton. Love of Lucas's life. Boy, Peyton and Peyton and Lucas are getting dogged in this list. Peyton was an artist, inspired to do great things. Along with Lucas, left the series after season 6. Had a few missteps here and there, betraying Brooke's trust. When Lucas cheated on her was a big one, but she was fiercely independent and loyal. Inadvertently shot by Jimmy Edwards during the school shooting episode, taking refuge in the library with Lucas. Had a tendency to be very hard on herself. Julian Baker, that is an unfortunate photo. Number 12. Good grief. That is not a good photo. First appearing in season 6, he looks evil in that. up to something not good, okay? Julian starts off a bit on the rocky side, but throughout his time on the show became a fan favorite. Instrumental in finding Nathan when he was kidnapped in the final season. Oh my gosh. Fans love to see Brooke settle down with Julian. As they have twins, and Julian makes a television show, Ravens, based on Brooke's high school experiences. Number 11, Karen, mother of Lucas, whose high school sweetheart, Dan Scott, left her after she got pregnant with Lucas in high school, determined to raise Lucas on her own. Strong-willed attitude helped to raise Lucas while also running her own cafe, called Karen's Cafe. Often guided Lucas through his problems in high school. Happily ever after with Keith, which tragically cut short by his heartbreaking death. Spoilers. Number 10, Quentin Fields. Only there for 17 episodes. One of the star players for the Tree Hill Ravens, coached by Lucas and Skills Taylor. Extremely arrogant, believed more in himself rather than the concept of the team. Also very rude to Haley. Slowly realizes his errors. Becomes a better person, student, and basketball player. Unfortunately, met an untimely end of the show. Shot by Xavier Daniels, the same person who robbed Brooke's clothing store. Made for one of the most heartbreaking deaths on the show. Number 9, Mouth. Mouth was a recurring character in the first half of the series because before becoming a series regular in the second half, he starts out as an aspiring sports commentator. Practices by calling games at the River Court with his friend, Jimmy Edwards. Wait a minute. That's the same Jimmy Edwards? Throughout the series, McFadden grows close with many of the friends in the group. Nice guy, trouble shedding that image. After his best friend Jimmy killed himself during the school shooting, Mouth spent the rest of the series honoring his memory. Oh my gosh. Whoa. I think Lucas should be higher than Mouth. What the heck? Yeah, exactly. This list is interesting. Skills Taylor, one of the supporting characters throughout the show, originally a member of the River Court group, before trying out and making the Ravens basketball team, later returned to the high school to coach the basketball team. Used his talents to give him a better shot at going to college, which he succeeded in by getting a basketball scholarship. Hey. Made him one of the longest supporting characters and very close with Nathan and Haley's son, Jamie. Number 7, Quinn. Introduced in season 7, the sister of Haley. Moves back to Tree Hill after her marriage dissolves, eventually divorcing her ex-husband. Meets Clay, and while they start as friends, a relationship blossoms. Help Clay with his feelings, get over the grief of the loss of his wife, allowing him to move on. Pair marry in the final episode. Nice. Whitey. Oh my gosh, what an interesting character. I had forgotten about Whitey in this list, but yes. Number 6. Been coaching for 20 plus years, coached all the Scott men at some point during their long careers. Well respected in the community. Jim bears his name. Tough coach, but had a soft spot for his players and made many friends. Despite retiring after they won the state championship, he took a job coaching at the university where Nathan was playing with the help of Lucas as an assistant coach. He had a couple moments there with Lucas that were very touching. Very touching. Number 5, Nathan, of course. Star of the Ravens basketball team. Begins the season series at odds with his half-brother. Yeah, I'd say so. Dreaming of becoming a professional basketball player. Went from a cocky jerk, which he definitely was, can confirm, to a loving husband and father who would do anything for his family and friends. Quite the arc, if I do say so. Hillary left because Mark Schwann, the curator, was a terrible person and she didn't want to deal with that anymore. And since Lucas is so linked to Peyton, Chad left with Hillary, in solidarity since their characters got married at the end. That is a cool move by Chad Michael Murray. That is a very cool move. That's awesome. That is very neat. Jake, number 4, 25 episodes. Boy, this list is really giving those with not a lot of episodes a lot of praise. I think the writer of this absolutely hates Lucas, is what it's coming down to. Jake was a member of the Tree Hill Ravens, who has a child with his ex-girlfriend Nikki, fights to keep custody of his daughter. Despite not making many appearances, Jake was a memorable character due to him being an all-around good guy. Devoted father to his daughter, in addition to being a good student, skilled basketball player. Shame that he had to deal with Nikki constantly trying to prove that he was a bad father in order to take their daughter away. Oh my God. I don't agree that Lucas should have been that low. All the characters were messy. Jake is a fan favorite. Good to know. Keith, I'm not surprised at this. In the short amount of episodes I've seen, good dude. Often seen as a good guy of the series, brother to series villain Dan, Keith acted as a father figure to Lucas growing up after Dan left him, mother. Always put him at odds with Dan, but Keith did everything he could to be there for Lucas and Karen, whom he loved more than anyone. Met an untimely end in season 3 when he was shot and killed by Dan during the school shooting. Loss sends Lucas into a downward spiral, fires him to investigate who really killed him. Keith's appearance in the final season, welcoming a dying Dan to heaven, pulls the heartstrings, showing that despite what Dan done to him, Keith was able to forgive him. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Haley, number 2. First introduced as Lucas's closest friend, something of a nerd, slowly transforms into a more outgoing person. Eventually begins dating Lucas's half-brother Nathan, which I was disgusted by. Disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. How could she do that to Lucas? How? Nathan Haley, top 2, let's go. Wait, what number was Nathan? I think he was 5? 6? 5. Nathan was 5. Keith 3. Haley 2. Furious followed her dreams, most notably when she aspired to be a musician despite putting her at odds with Nathan. She was able to adapt to the circumstances of her life with ease and became a loving mother to her son, James. Number 1, Brooke. Who had that? Who had Brooke as number 1? Brooke Davis started off the series a ditzy, spoiled girl who only really cared about herself. Kind of missing one adjective, I think, from this. Missing one. I'll let you fill in the blank. However, over time, she proved to be an extremely loyal friend, self-made businesswoman. Determination to succeed was one of her best qualities. It can be argued that Brooke had the strongest character arc in the series. By the time it ended, she was nothing like she was in the first season. Gone through several hardships, including family issues, assault, fertility issues, came out the other side stronger than ever. Served as an inspiration to many characters on the show, and also to many viewers who watched her grow for 9 years. Is Jake higher than Nathan? What is this list? Yes, Jake is higher than Nathan. Number 4, Nathan's number 5. You can take it up with David. You can take it up with him. Of course, these things are always subjective, really subjective. So it is what it is, I suppose. It's entertaining to find random lists about shows I don't know for Todd and see the controversy start. I bet it is. It's so subjective. Oh my gosh. Key takeaways from rewatching One Tree Hill as an adult. All right, let me just make sure I still have. Okay, I still have stuff for the. I want to make sure we do have 2 One Tree Hill videos. I don't want to use them all. Top 3 characters are Nathan, Haley, and Brooke. Okay, all right. That's like objectively the best characters. Good to know. Actually, it sounds like all 3 of them have pretty good arcs, so that kind of makes sense. Key takeaways from rewatching One Tree Hill as an adult. Do you want to be other? Do you want to be anything other than what you've been trying to be lately? What do we think? Are we trying, or do we want to be anything other? I was 13 years old when One Tree Hill first premiered. It feels like lifetimes ago. It does, because it is. Hate to break it to you. It is. Back when you had to watch a show when it came on, unless you had something fancy like TiVo. Oh my gosh. TiVo. Oh. Oh my gosh. That was the pre-DVR, is what that was. I remember the excitement. Well, I guess it was DVR, but it was localized, wasn't it? Damn you, the passing of time. Old man shakes fist in the air. I remember the excitement of turning into the WB, tuning into the W, which later turned into CW. Just the letters, no big deal. I will say, I think there was a difference in content put out for sure. Like CW became much more adult in a way. Every Tuesday evening at 8, first to watch Gilmore Girls and then to watch One Tree Hill. Oh, how many of you enjoyed that time block of Gilmore Girls, then One Tree Hill? Peak entertainment right there. These shows made me feel very grown up since the main characters were a bit older than me and lived lives like the likes of which I could only dream. Now, 18 years later, I decided to embrace nostalgia and watch it again. And boy, the show was much different than I remember. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it. I'm having a great time rewatching it, even if the dialogue's a little cheesy and the storyline's a bit reminiscent of a soap opera at times. Currently working my way through season 2, and I have a lot of opinions, but here are some things 31-year-old me picks up that 13-year-old didn't. Quote, number 1, these teenagers look and act like they're 20. Well, yeah, that is classic TV show or movies. I suppose. Teenagers are always played by like young 20-year-olds. That is a fact. Long time ago, I had a personal blog where remember having a blog? I think everybody did, like a little journal or whatever. Long time ago, I had a personal blog where I wrote a post about lies the WB told me. And one of the lies was that I would be glamorous and beautiful in high school like the One Tree Hill kids. I mean, just look at them. I mean, yeah, that's kind of hard to attain. Spoiler alert, I didn't attain it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no. That's definitely not realistic. In my world, at least. Here's the thing, although they were playing 16-year-olds, almost the entire teenage cast were already in their 20s when the pilot premiered. James Lafferty, who played Nathan Scott, was the youngest at 18. Okay. No wonder I thought I looked like a chubby toad in high school. I was comparing myself not just to beautiful people, but to beautiful adults who had already gotten past their awkward years. Although I highly doubt Hillary Burton had any sort of awkward years to speak of. Yeah, jinx indeed. Uh-oh. What? Sign in? I don't think so. Hold on a second. See if this ace up my sleeve works again. Should be able to. Usually does. Not archived. Oh, no. Well, dang it. All right. That is a good point. That is a very good point. Yeah, they always look older, and they always are, usually. All right, here we go. One Tree Hill sequel series led by Sophia Bush and Hilary Burton in the works at Netflix. That's not surprising. Hasn't Netflix come out with like something that I can't remember what it was, but didn't they just bring something back? I thought I checked it thoroughly. No, it's fine. This was mid 2024. Oh my gosh, get out of the way. Created by Mark Schwann, One Tree Hill. Let me do that. There we go. Sequel series is closer to becoming a reality at Netflix. Are set Sophia and Hillary are set to be to executive produce and reprise their roles. Okay. Of Brooke and Peyton, respectively, in the sequel series from writer Becky Hartman Edwards and Warner Brothers TV, which is currently in development at the streamer, sources revealed to Deadline. Jensen Ackles and Daniil, I think is how you pronounce it. Ackles also executive produced through their Chaos Machine banner, with the latter in talks to return as Rachel Scott. What? Jensen is involved? Dean? Wow. Half the cast weren't even aware of it? Really? Heard no news since? Emily Moss Wilson is a producer. Premiered in 2003, of course. Ran for 9 seasons. Sequel is said to take place 20 years later, following best friends Brooke and Peyton, who are now parents to teens and facing challenges not unfamiliar to what they tackled in the original series of love, insecurities, and grief. They just start the whole thing over again. And like we get introduced to a new Nathan, a new Lucas, everything. Honestly, it could work. It could work. If the fans are there for it. Now, as we saw in the numbers, they definitely decreased towards the latter part of the series. But who knows? Maybe it might renew interest. Maybe a new generation would be super into it. Who knows? Maybe it would be, One Tree Hill for the new generation. Daniil was Rachel in One Tree Hill, and she's married to him. Oh, okay. Coming of age drama also starred Chad Michael Murray, everybody else. There have been informal conversations with other members of the ensemble cast. Bush and Burton are the only ones on set thus far, with formal approaches to others expected if it gets greenlit. Chad Michael Murray, who played Lucas, has no plans to return for the follow-up. Interesting. Reps from Netflix and WB-TV declined to comment. Classic. Oh yeah, Netflix previously revived Gilmore Girls. So yeah, it kind of makes sense. At least the groundwork is there. One Tree Hill creator Schwann, who served as executive producer and showrunner of the original series, has no involvement. 2017, a number of the female cast members and crew members, including Bush and Burton, spoke out accusing him of unwanted advancement, I guess is what we'll say for, YouTube's sake. Yikes. Well, obviously not going to be involved. Burton and Bush also host a One Tree Hill rewatch podcast with co-stars. Yeah, I've seen Talkville with Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum talk about Smallville. They basically rewatching episodes and they're talking about it, giving behind the scenes information and whatnot through the episodes. It seems like that is a very like interesting thing that's happening right now. Looks like the actress who played Haley and the actor who played Nathan aren't confirmed. If they're in on it, I'm not even watching. If they're not in it. Joey is going through a bit of a tumultuous time, so I don't really see her accepting it either. She's currently on tour for her book about her experience within a cult, being married to the leader's son. Yikes. Oh my gosh. Good grief. That is brutal. Well, thankfully she came out the other side. Good Lord. Life is weird, is it not? Life is weird. There's a lot of things going on that you just don't even think about. Don't even, have any concept of. What's up, Desired? Oh my gosh. All right. Let's move on to the next one. We'll come back to One Tree Hill later. This one is, I'm going to butcher these names. I don't even know if I should try. I'll just say Sun and Guan Sick, maybe? Wind. When Life Gives You Tangerines. It is a music video. Let me go ahead and adjust this one just a bit. Here we go. I want to cut off any presumed closed captioning. Turn on closed captioning for English. Well, that helps. Right in the description. Rocco Kitty will let you know if you got it right or not. Probably not. Let's be honest. Time to cry. Oh gosh, here comes potentially some emotional heartbreak. So if just joining here, Desired, well, you might be crying in 2 seconds. Let's go ahead and jump in. When Life Gives You Tangerines, this is titled Wind. This is spoilers for episode 1 through 4, apparently.
이들 유채꽃 냄새 독한 거 알아? 얼마나 독하게 단지 고리 띵해서 아주 기절하겠더라. 나는 무조건 서울놈한테 시집갈 거야. 섬놈한테는 절대.
Oh, okay. Isan and Guang Shik. Gotcha. Appreciate it.
다가 아니라 서울에 백날 갖다 줘봐. 그런다고 시집 가나? 그래도 시집은 누가 오라대?
생선집 아들이나 해녀딸이나.
If you're looking for friends, definitely hit up the Discord. Lots of great people in there.
노땡큐한 시절 노빠꾸에 그들이 있었다.
나는 거의 14살 때부터 준비했거든? 내가 왜? 내가 서운하게 왜?
Appreciate it, Jace.
다는 못해. 그래도 꼭 하나는 죽어도 해줄 거야.
그럼 말이라도 좀 그냥 다 해준다고 해.
불안 못 참아.
그니까 쫄리면 지금 물러. 도로 네 집 가.
나는 내 19년 인생 중에 지금이 제일 신나.
응?
그러지 마요.
솔직히 조금 후회되지?
그때로 돌아가서 또 네 아빠한테 시집 가려면
안 가지 뭐.
가. 나는 가.
구세 같아서. 배는 고라도 마음은 아.
I feel like this video is a roller coaster in itself. The amount of like high emotions and then, beautiful words, expressions. Like it's just
모르겠다 싶어서.
나 줘요. 나 애순이 주고도 내가 챙겼고 애순이 양배추도 내가 다 말았고 이 세상에서 내가 애순이 제일 좋아하는데
걔가 오빠를 못 살게 해.
내가 너를 못 살게 해.
뭐 인생의 파라리 애순이냐? 아니 나누아가 그렇게 좋아? 좋아 죽겠느냐고!
Well, hopefully.
좋아
Yeah.
죽어요. 너도 엎어. 네가 엎기만 하면 뒤는 내가 다 처리할게. 다 때려 엎든가 부수든가 너는 여기 땅만 해. 그럼 내가 개가 돼야지. 다시는 애순이 볼 생각 마요. 이 집 며느리 내가 안 시켜. 뭐?
있다. 나는 엄마대로 행복했어. 엄마 인생도 나름 쨍쨍했어. 그림 같은 순간이 얼마나 많았다고. 땅이라고.
That's lucky. If you can say you've had many picture perfect moments in your life, you are lucky. A lot of people struggle with that. Life can be very cruel and brutal, but you have those moments, cherish them. Try to cherish them as they're going on. That's always the hardest part. Usually you look back at the fondness and you're like, oh, I had it so good, or oh, it was such a beautiful day, or whatever. And then you're looking back and it's already passed. I'm so glad it didn't go into the angst. Yeah, that was completely different than what I was expecting. The music alone was very like chaotic and upbeat. So it kind of took a little the edge off of some of those scenes. All right. Throw that some love. Excellent. 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 Let me go ahead and throw that in the chat as well. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some love. And also check out the channel. We got 90,000 subs, so that tells you they have some other content you might be really interested in. So check it out. Throw that in the Twitch chat for everybody. They're such cuties. Yeah. They do look nice together. For sure. Editor says, as soon as I heard the song in the episode, I knew I had to make an edit of them with it. I can't wait for the new episodes. The quote is, I found happiness in my own way. There was sunshine in my life too. I've had so many picture-perfect moments. All right, let's pull up some information, get a little bit more background as to what we just witnessed. There we go. And life gives you tangerines. Also called Thank You for Your Hard Work, apparently. 2025 South Korean romance slice of life television series. Released on Netflix between March 7th and 28th. Oh, so this is fresh. Right off the presses. Promo for this show was too cute with the interviews. Their besties have been for years. That's nice. I'm sure that comes across in the happier moments. Running out of steam. It's gone to midnight. I still have things to do. Have a good night, Jace. Thanks for the links as always. Shout out to all the mods for all their hard work, for all the information we do during stream. Domestic and international hit, the series received praise for its performances, screenplay, and direction. Compared to the acclaimed period drama Reply in 1988. Also starring Park Bo-gum, for eliciting nostalgia and warmth rooted in the Korean experience. Beginning in Jeju in 1951, the spirited Isun and the steadfast Gwanshik Island, or Shik, Island's story blossoms into a lifelong tale of setbacks and triumphs, proving love endures across time. Interesting. Okay, so it's a very slice of life. I get that. Probably makes it more of a realistic story, honestly. 16 episodes, hour-ish. Episodes. Non-linear narrative. Story follows the lives of them and their children, split between... Okay. All right. The island and Seoul between the 50s and the 2000s. Wow. So there's quite a time jump on this. Events shown previously are sometimes shown again in later episodes with greater context, to show the connection between the different events and characters. Narration within episodes is often given by an older, okay, poetically reminiscing about her feelings on events of the past. Oh, I kind of like how that's presented. A little bit of narration, you get to hear more from the perspective. I like flashbacks. Not too many, not too much, but just enough. It's always nice. Entirety of the show is released in a month. 4 episodes a week. Wow. That is interesting. Kind of like that. Although, that kind of reminds me of the binge model where you're just like, you get through it and you're just waiting around for the next time or the next season or something like that. Obviously, I don't know if there's going to be a next season of this. There probably isn't. There's probably just 16 episodes, but that kind of bugs me whenever I'm watching a show and it's like a serial show, like you know you're going to get more seasons. Just like, why did I watch it that fast? You're so disappointed in yourself. It's like I couldn't resist. I couldn't. I don't think that's happened with a K-drama before. That's good. What else we got? Exception. Always a good thing to check. It was a hit. It was even praised by the state-run tabloid Global Times, despite Netflix's unavailability in the region. Wow. Received plaudits for its performances, screenplay, and direction. India Today stated that the series isn't just a love story, nor is it merely a historical drama. It's a meditation on time, on love, and on the quiet labor of care that stretches across lifetimes. South China Morning Post, the series, quote, masterfully bridged past and present, blurring the line between nostalgic reverie and pressing reality, calling it one of the very best K-dramas of all time, quite possibly the most Korean of them all. Wow. That is high praise. Only it's 2 episodes weekly or depending on the streaming platform, all at once. Okay. Good to know. Very cool. Lots of praise. Dang. Review Netflix K-drama When Life Gives You Tangerines review. One of the best K-dramas ever made. An emotionally rich script and a sensational cast makes this series a gripping and rewarding watch start to finish. Have tissues on hand. 5 out of 5. Dang. Wow. March of Time continues through the final episodes of When Life Gives You Tangerines, a series that has deftly chronicled the swift but turbulent evolution of South Korea through the lives of one hardy island family. Fishmonger and fisherman grew up on Jeju's rocky shores in the 50s, fell in love in its sweeping canola field in the 1960s, then raised their family in an old countryside house in the 70s and beyond. That's really neat how it goes throughout their entire life, their love life, basically, but their family life. By the 90s, have abandoned the house for a flat in the nearby city. Interesting. Eldest child, the brilliant IU again, lives in Seoul while her younger brother remains with them, where he soon starts his own family. In her youth, Isan dreamed of being a poet, but the circumstances of the time did not allow for such lofty. Instead, she lives vicariously through her daughter, who shares her brilliant mind, obstinate tenacity, and penchant for sudden tearful outbursts. Continuing sacrifices, which included selling the house and moving to a flat, it's a kind of suffocating love that is all too familiar to anyone who grew up with Korean parents, endless sacrifice, and towering expectation. Yet in fiction, just as in reality, this tactic proves effective. Isan's generation moved away from the staunch Confucian views on female roles in society, and armed with her mother's unwavering support, daughter finds her way through Korea's evolving society. Very interesting. IU plays both the mother in her younger years and the daughter later on. That is impressive. This K drama is probably going to be in everyone's top 10 K dramas ever. Dang. Experiences plenty of setbacks along the way until she becomes a tech entrepreneur in the online education industry. Her success allows her to build a charming new house on the island for her mother, where she can bask in her long delayed but well earned triumph. The elderly Isan even has a book of her poetry published. Wow. Yet Isan still berates her daughter for being too busy and only visiting her 10 times a year. That is a lot. That is a lot, especially if you're any distance away. Korea may not be a big country, but Jeju is still a plane ride away from Seoul. Well, I guess if you have a lot of money, that's not that. You can catch a plane ride anytime, any weekend, I guess. Isan achieved her dream in the end. Kwon Shik released his far earlier, held on to it until his dying breath. As a child, he only ever had eyes for Isan, falling in love as teens. That love never wavered. However, they were often difficult. They lost their youngest child during a big storm in the 70s. Yikes. You never get over that, period. A death that the stoic Kwon Shik is particularly never really recovered from. Absolutely not. You will never recover from that. Still experiencing guilt-stricken nightmares about it in his old age. There were many financial ups and downs, often precipitated by their feeling of responsibility towards their children. Isan gave up her mother's house for daughter's studies. That is huge. That is huge. Kwon Shik sold his beloved boat to raise the cash to bail his son out of jail after he's scammed by a friend. Kwon Shik's turn to be scammed when he uses the remaining money he has to open a small restaurant in a development that turns out to be a scheme devised by an unscrupulous speculator. Yet the hardy Kwon Shik perseveres and eventually turns the restaurant into a success despite its terrible location. It was with details like this that When Life Gives You Tangerines masterfully bridged past and present, blurring the line between nostalgic reverie and pressing reality. Wow. Saying goodbye to Kwon Shik might have been the hardest emotional highlight. Character magnificently performed in his middle age and later years. Never aspired to leave the island, yet when an undiagnosed blood cancer caught up with him, it was in a Seoul hospital that he bowed out, symbolic of the heaving metropolis's mighty gravitational pull. Wow. Interesting. Some shows, just different genres of things. Some are sci-fi, way out there. It's not very realistic. It's kind of, imaginatory and all that stuff. Then you get this, where it's like legitimate life and the bad stuff that can happen and the good stuff that can happen. And what's a good way to put this? It's like a soap opera if it was realistic, without all the crazy storylines back to back. It's I don't know. It's difficult to write a slice of life that is interesting enough to keep attention. Obviously, they were able to do it. Pretty impressive. There's tragic stuff, but the crying isn't even because it's sad. I think a lot of people cry in each episode because it's just so human and gives life lessons. It makes you look at your parents or your actions differently. Yeah. That is, there's probably a very high degree of relatability to it, as this article has pointed out many times, that makes people reflect in their own lives. Wow. Well done. That's pretty impressive to do a slice of life that is very, number one, relatable, and number two, just seems like it could be anybody's life. 5 lessons from When Life Gives You Tangerines. It might have ended, but the life lessons it imparted will stay with us forever. Speaking of life lessons, set to be remembered as one of the best K-dramas of all time. Number 1, the community you surround yourself with is what will carry you through life. That is definitely true. 100% true. The people you surround yourself with definitely rub off on you. They can change your behavior. They can change your attitude. Maybe you can change their attitude too, but usually it's the collective imparting itself onto you. So if you surround yourself with people that you would not want to be, it's going to definitely rub off on you, and you're going to become somebody you don't want to be. Usually. It's better to, be very aware of who you have around you. Basically what this takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a community to keep you going no matter what life throws your way. Through ups and downs, Isan's community stood by her to bear witness, cheer her on, protect her, chide her. That's important too. Gotta have people around you that tell you, like, hey, I don't think that was a good move. Or, hey, I've been watching a lot of that in the Marrying Millions show where people are chiming in on relationships and stuff like that. It's good to do just a little bit of that. You don't want to go too far, obviously, but yeah, it's wise to have somebody that is not a yes person in your life that just constantly, oh yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. You should definitely do that. Definitely. It's good to have somebody at least critically thinking about what you're doing to be able to give that feedback, whether it's negative or positive. Oh, here we go. I was like, oh no, not one of those locked articles. Number 2, find a man who is devoted to you. Above, together through thick and thin, Wan Shik remained devoted to Isan their whole lives. Find yourself a man who loves you as much as Wan Shik loves Isan. When it comes to husbands, Wan Shik sets the gold standard. Known as Steel Heart, he's embodiment of devotion, adoring, loyal, and unwavering. Dedicated his life to Isan's happiness and the well-being of their children, quietly enduring hardships and heartache. He showed his love through acts of devotion, big and small, from grand gestures like swimming across the ocean to return. Wow. The small ones like providing Isan a lifetime supply of hair clips. He's a man who would defy his own family and scold a beloved daughter or his wife. As the daughter points out, she might be number 1 in her father's heart, but her mother will always be number 0. That is a funny way to put that. Number 3, know your worth. If it's a choice between loving someone and loving yourself, always choose yourself. Oh. Daughter felt compelled to call off their wedding, telling him, I do love you deeply, but I love myself deeply too. Ooh. Oh, interesting. Female divers. Cool. Number 4, there's more to people than meets the eye. Yes, well, obviously. For most of the drama, he was portrayed as a philandering husband, neglectful father, making it hard to sympathize with him. Final volume of Tangerines, the audience learns that despite his many failings, he had moments of redemption, showing that even the most flawed individuals have the capacity for growth and change. Number 5, you reap what you sow. That is 100% true. 100% true. You never know when and how, but the universe keeps score and always pays back the kindness you give to others. Indeed. When Isan and Guan Shik warned a young woman about the motel owner's schemes, they did so because it was the right thing to do. Many years later, the woman, now much older, repaid their kindness by protecting their daughter, when she was falsely accused of theft. Wow. In another instance, a celebrity rescues their restaurant from closure. Pay back the kindness Guanxik showed her years before when he hid her from reporters and photographers during a vulnerable time in her life. Interesting. Reap what you sow. More to people than meets the eye. People can always be surprising. You know, there's more than the surface. Don't judge a book by its cover, all those things. Know your worth, indeed. And be your biggest supporter. That is definitely true. Be your biggest supporter. Because the only person truly, undoubtedly looking after you is yourself. Period. Find a man who is devoted to you. I mean, that's solid dating advice. Definitely. It might seem like it's impossible these days, but it's out there. It is definitely out there. Oddly enough, it usually happens when you're not looking. Isn't that the sad irony of life? That is the craziness of life. Community you surround yourself with is what will carry you through life. You are the people you hang out with. That is true when you are young and in school, and it's true when you are old, living that old life. That is very true. IU drops when life gives you Tangerines BTS pics from the wedding scene. South Korean actors IU and Park star in, I think that's a translation error here. When Life Gives You Tangerines, recently dropped on Netflix. However, actress IU has recently delighted her fans with behind-the-scenes photos of the series. The actress took to her Instagram, shared photos from the infamous wedding scene. In the photos, IU's character, Isan, and her family have been posing for cameras in front of the altar with Kim Ho's parents. So she also shared a photo of herself with the 3 child actresses who played her younger self at different ages. Another stunning photo showed a detailed glimpse of IU's full-length wedding dress as she posed at the stairs of the church. Also shared a selfie of herself in the wedding. Wrote a caption, "I was tricked by the heat wave, episode 4, part 1, behind the scenes." View it on Instagram. Heck of a wedding dress. Dang. 4.4 million likes. Whoa. Oh my gosh. That is a long wedding dress. You need like 2 people behind you for that one. I like the addition of the white gloves. That is a cool thing. Mm. The way IU said she picked the most outrageous wedding dress because they got married in like the 60s. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That is a feast right there. Oh my gosh. That's really cool. That's awesome. I love when behind the scenes are given. Park Gum hits a home run in picking When Life Gives You Tangerines as his first post-military drama and is grateful for the role in recent interview. coming April will be the third year that K-actor Park Gum has been discharged from the military in 2022, but his comeback drama only recently aired. For a while, fans wished he took on more projects and faster. But with the critical and commercial success of When Life Gives You Tangerines, it's clear he values quality over quantity. The home run in a first at-bat type of post-military return drama selection. There was one complaint from some of his fans that he was only in half the drama, the first 8 episodes, before his role changed to the equally amazing Park Jun, whereas female lead IU was in the entire drama, playing both the mom and daughter. I mean, that doesn't lessen impact. Park Gum has been effusive in praising his co-stars and remains grateful for the role, so it's clear he picked it intentionally knowing the screen time. And honestly, some of the most memorable characters and performances did so with limited screen time. Yeah, no. I mean, if you're in a hit show for 2 seconds, you're going to feel incredibly honored. So if you're in it for 8 episodes of the 16, that's pretty dang good. It's nothing to cry about. Obviously, he's not. Couldn't find a better actor to cement the young Wan Shik role. His tears in episode 6 was so gut-wrenching. Award-worthy. These are some fan comments, by the way. He occupies a big spot in my fan heart. I love this drama a lot. Cried a lot, too. When he waved goodbye at the end scene, I ran out of tissue. It's a drama I just can't binge. One episode every other day because each one is packed with so much emotion that it hits your heart with a wallop and can't help but tear up. Someone said that this drama was unrealistic in the sense that all these misfortunes can happen to one family, but it did, and they lived on. Buoyed by a love that was brave, steadfast, and true. Haven't finished it yet. I'm taking my time. That's probably a good way to go. In no way are they uprising stars or anything. They're really successful at home and overseas. Good to know. Good context. Haven't seen a drama truly deserving my compliments and also popularity at the same time for a while. I'd like to give kudos to the casting director who cast the actors for child, young adult. One of the best actors in the world. So glad he's back. Leave the man alone. He has done nothing wrong. They only want his money. If they had a problem, they should complain years ago. What? What is happening? That last comment went so sideways. I don't even know. That went so unbelievably sideways. Huh. That was weird. That was weird. I don't know. There's always one that just goes completely, you're just like, huh? What? Your acting catalog and adding IU's singing career is top tier. That's awesome. That's very cool. That looks like a very interesting show. I'm trying to think, how many slice of life shows have I ever seen? I mean, you could consider. I mean, we just reacted to a One Tree Hill. I mean, technically, it's like a slice of life because it follows them through different periods, but it's not really the same. Slice of life is very slow moving in a way, I suppose. Hard. I don't even know how I would explain slice of life. Let's see. Let me see what the Wikipedia definition. Depiction of mundane experiences. Yeah. So like really mundane. Naturalism. While in literary parlance, it's a narrative technique in which a seemingly arbitrary sequence of events in a character's life is presented, often lacking plot development, conflict, and exposition, as well as often having an open ending. In theatrical parlance, the term slice of life refers to a naturalistic representation of real life, sometimes used as an adjective. A play with slice of life dialogues originated in 1890. Goes on to say that our purpose is not to create laughter, but thought. He felt that the story of a play does not end with the curtain, which is only an arbitrary interruption of the action, which leaves the spectator free to speculate about what goes on beyond your expectation. Often used synonymously with the term kitchen sink realism. Recognizable everyday settings such as a suburban high school, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting. See also King of the Hill. What? Really? That's kind of an interesting. I would have put King of the Hill on that list. That's interesting. Seinfeld. Yeah, definitely. Seinfeld is definitely slice of life. The show about nothing is what that was marketed as. King of the Hill. King of the Bobby. Oh my gosh. Let go my purse. I don't know you. All right. Before I start quoting King of the Hill religiously, let's move on to the next one. It is Nathan and Haley. We are back. We are back in Tree Hill, folks. Nathan and Haley, Light Me Up. What song is that? Hit Me Up. Ingrid Michaelson. Oh. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and up. Move this there. There. Okay. I think I got this set. Go ahead and move this. I don't think it's TikTok's. We can make that full screen. Hey. There it is. Boom. Nathan Haley, Light Me Up.
Hi, I'm Nathan's guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm Haley. Can I help you?
I hope so. You're my tutor.
Sorry, this isn't her.
But your arms were open at my door.
Appreciate it, Willow. Thanks for hanging out.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
Don't say I never gave you anything.
Because ever since I met you, it has been so much more.
And I like the fact that somebody like you sees something in me.
Light me up.
It's amazing how much this couple disgusted me at the beginning. I was so pro Lucas.
Stay with me tonight.
That betrayal, I just couldn't get over.
I need you to come back to me. Why even fight for it?
Because I love you. Say you love me. You love me.
Of course I do, you dork. Of course I love you.
Of course I do, dork.
Just praying for rain. He's don't make my heart race.
My heart's racing too. That's what happens when I'm around you. I'm serious, honest.
It helps that you're hot. You made it. You did it!
We did it.
I'm in love with you.
I love you.
It's nice after all this time.
Trying to think, was the first like kiss after a sporting event? Did Rocky start that tradition? Adrian, And then everything else just kind of happened after that. And it seems like it's such a, like a cliche for sporting events for like right after it just making out with whoever you're with. That's the first interaction like that I think I've ever seen in a sports movie. 19 Didn't Rocky come out in like 1970? That'd be interesting if that was the first ever. I don't know why I just thought of that.
I need you.
Always and
Adrian.
Forever. Your kindness is overwhelming. I will always protect you. I love. That's a guy I'll never be.
Stop pointing the gun at her, all right?
A guy that just stands by and watches when the world hurts you. Now that every time I look at her, I know that I'm gonna be with her for the rest of my life.
This is such a good compilation. Oh my gosh.
You've given me an amazing life so far.
I'm starting to realize why they're so beloved and ranked extremely high.
Give me an amazing life.
Quite the arc.
I do love you so.
Beautifully done. Wow. Beautifully done. Oh my gosh. That editing. Fantastic. Let me throw that some love. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original. Go ahead and throw out some love yourself, and also check out the channel. They might have other edits that you can get into as well. Let me throw that in the chat for those watching on Twitch. Boom. It is. Excellent. Good grief. It's so difficult because I've only seen the first couple episodes of One Tree Hill, and when you start it, you're such like a Lucas fan because they portray Nathan as like this monster. It's like his father, basically. And then apparently there's quite an arc in there that I haven't seen. So watching this, it's slowly changing my opinion on the character without seeing any of like the in detail build up to it. So it's odd. It's like a weird juxtaposition in my head. But wow, that was quite a beautiful story. Good grief. Wow. Let's bring up some information on Nathan and Haley, specifically in this case. Nathan Scott, you know what? Tragedies happen. What are you going to do? Give up? Quit? No. I realize now that when your heart breaks, you got to fight like hell to make sure you're still alive, because you are. And that pain you feel, that's life. Confusion and fear, that's there to remind you that somewhere out there is something better. That something is worth fighting for. Wow, what a quote. What an unbelievable quote. Dang, that is good. That is very good and very true. I like that. The confusion and fear reminds you that something out there is better. Huh. Beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. There are moments in my life that I wish I knew this quote, honestly. Nathan Scott, one of the two main male characters on One Tree Hill, part of the original core 5 characters. For the first 6 seasons, it's co-protagonist, Lucas, of course. After Lucas's departure at the end of 6th season, he becomes the male lead, a role he keeps for the rest of the series. character arc. Season 1 starts with the tension and rivalry between the two estranged half brothers. Absolutely. Nathan and Lucas. Even more tension as Lucas joins the varsity basketball team. Indeed. Nathan believes Lucas is intentionally doing this to take everything Nathan has from basketball and his girlfriend Peyton. Oh my gosh. After graduation from Tree Hill High School, Nathan's tragically hurt in an accident during a fight and is put into a wheelchair, unfortunately not being able to join the Seattle Sonics. Began rehab in his training for basketball, but then with the help of Quentin Fields, who was later murdered at a gas station by an unknown suspect. He then was recruited by the Charleston Chiefs before later being drafted in the NBA for the Charlotte Bobcats, owned by Michael Jordan. Shout out number 23. After having trouble dealing with back pain, he's left with no choice but to resign. Decides to take on basketball as a sports agent. 8th season, Haley and Nathan will welcome their second child, a girl. Nice. Trivia. What is this? James Lafferty was only 17 years old when they started filming the show. Nathan was only supposed to use Haley to mess with Lucas, and his character was not supposed to fall in love with her, but the showrunners decided to change the storyline when they saw how much chemistry they had. Now that makes a lot of sense. That makes so much sense, because that's exactly what they were setting up. At least what came across. 3 months younger than his half-brother Lucas. Chad Michael Murray was first wanted by Mark Schwann to audition for the role of Nathan. Ooh, interesting. But he felt a close connection to Lucas Scott since Chad's mother left him when he was 10 years old. Oh. James got the role because of his basketball ability. Lafferty has also been offered a sports scholarship to college due to basketball, but turned it down to play Nathan. Those were real skills? Unbelievable. Wow. Usually it's just pure acting. In the first season, Nathan had a... What? But it was not seen afterwards. That's so funny. He didn't really have the piercing. It was glued on. Okay. He's the only character who had appeared in all episodes until season 9. Okay. Interesting. Throughout Nathan's high school and college basketball life, he held the number 23, but after going professionally, he held both the number 12 and 15. Despite this, Nathan's wife, Haley, has a tattoo of the number 23 on her lower back. Well, I mean, when you get to the pros, whoever has the number is probably going to keep it. That is definitely a thing. Although I think you can actually I think they actually buy it off the other person if they feel so passionately about it. Some of them do. Nathan's favorite ice cream flavor is Rocky Road. Served as best man at both his half-brother Lucas's weddings. The one with Lindsay, which was stopped, and the one with Peyton. One of the 4 main male characters to appear in all 9 seasons. The other 3 male characters are Dan, Mouth, and Skills. Nathan had intimate relations with all 3 of the core female characters, Peyton, Brooke, and Haley. Was the first for Haley and his sister-in-law, Peyton. Only character whose name both starts and ends with the letter N. That seems very... What kind of trivia is that? That seems a bit ridiculous. He was the only member who was still a teenager when the show debuted. The same was the case for another teen drama, which debuted in the same year, The OC. I was watching The OC. That's what I was watching the time this came out. Only Misha Barton was still a teenager at the time of its premiere. Haley. Initially introduced as Lucas Scott's best friend and eventual sister-in-law upon her marriage to Nathan in their junior year of high school. 2 children together. As much information here. All through high school and beyond, when Lucas joined the Ravens, his half-brother Nathan vows to torment Lucas and targets Haley. Haley secretly agrees to tutor Nathan if he promises to stop hazing Lucas. Nathan agrees, and eventually their tutoring relationship becomes romantic. Nathan and Haley fall in love with each other, which results in their marriage. So Lucas and Nathan, through Lucas and Nathan, she also becomes close friends with cheerleaders Peyton and Brooke. Her dream of being a singer almost destroys their marriage as she leaves Nathan to go on tour with Chris Keller, successful rock star. What? When Haley returns, the couple remains separated because Nathan distrusts her. Surprising? Haley moves in with Brooke, becoming a Tree Hill High cheerleader in the process. Nathan, Lucas, and Haley soon reconcile, and they marry again in a second wedding ceremony. Senior year, Haley discovers that she is pregnant with his son. Make ends meet. She continues to work in Karen's cafe to help with her fellow students with tutoring. Nice. Very cool. Nathan and Haley. Haley says, Nathan, it's been said that there is one word that will free us from the weight and pain of life, and that word is love. I believe that. Doesn't mean that it hasn't been hard or that it won't be. It just means that I found a stillness and bravery in myself with you. Make me make me brave, and I will love you until the end of time. These are obviously vows. Nathan, last year we stood on a beach and I told you how much I loved you and how I would always, always protect you. And that day, nobody believed that this would work, but I don't think anybody understood the love that I had for you, because if they did, they would have never doubted us. I wanted to marry you all over again in front of most of our world, because today, when I look into your eyes, my love for you only grows, even stronger now, and that love will never waver. This I vow to you today and always and forever. Beautiful, beautiful. Now you can get ChatGPT to write your vows. You know what's funny? When I think it was Snapchat or something like that unveiled their AI, that was the first thing I did. I was like, hey, write a best man speech about a brother, make it funny, and da-da-da. And sure enough, it was just like, boom. Like within seconds, I was like, whoa, this is some surprising technology. Also known as Naily. Obviously, we went through some of this. Memorable episode. Probably a good one. First tutoring session, first signs of interest in each other. He also gives her their symbolic Cracker Jack bracelet while pronouncing his iconic line, "Don't say I never gave you anything." Yeah, I've heard that. Nathan and Haley go on their first date. Kiss for the first time, officially become a couple. 5 episodes later. Nathan and Haley say, I love you for the first time. Season 1, episode 19. They get married literally a couple episodes later. Wow. During this episode, they also share their first rain kiss. Ooh. 2-1, flashback to Nathan proposing to Haley and their wedding, during which he pronounces his vows their catchphrase, always and forever, for the first time. 12 episodes later, she leaves Nathan to go on tour with a rock star, after even having kissed him twice, putting a serious strain on the marriage. You think? Oh my gosh. 4 episodes later, Nathan goes to visit Haley on tour, but after seeing she isn't wearing her wedding ring, oh gosh, leaves heartbroken. couple episodes later, Haley, after being told by Lucas in the previous episode how hurt is Nathan, decides to come back to Tree Hill from tour to save their marriage. Good on Lucas. Wow, good on him for doing that. 3-1, once at home, Haley would like to make amends, but he's still too hurt for what happened and thus leaves for a basketball camp for the summer. At the end of the episode, Haley puts her wedding ring back on her finger. Maybe do that before you try to make amends. Well, it is shown that Nathan still wears his necklace. 2 episodes later, Nathan tells Haley he's thinking to divorce her. Oh, Lord. But before doing it, he wants to spend a year apart in order to see what happens in the meantime. A year apart? That seems long. That seems like really long. Wow. That is an interesting plan there. In my head, I think if you want to spend a year apart, just get divorced. At that point, it's probably too far gone. But this is a show, of course. 6 episodes later, Nathan finally forgives Haley and they spend their first night together since she's coming back home from tour. A couple episodes later, they have a final talk about their past issues, finally reconcile once and for all, promising to each other never to be separated again. Second rain kiss. 3 episodes later, Haley's among the hostages. Nathan rushes inside the building to find and save her. Fortunately, in the end, they are both safe. Third rain kiss. It's such a easy way to convince emotion. The rain, the kiss. Oh, sick. Obviously, they go through quite a bit here. First relationship, marriage ended. Second relationship, second engagement, vow renewal. They're considered the core couple of the show, along with Leighton. They're classified as a super couple, along with Leighton and Brulian. Nathan proposed to Haley 2 times. Good look at it. Relationship deep dive, Nathan, Scott, and Haley. Yeah, that's something we learned about, certainly. Contrary to the media's portrayal of high school sweethearts, it's no longer as realistic or engaging as a trope. Rare for love to last after people change as drastically as they do. Absolutely. As I said before, those years are very life-changing. You become a whole different person sometimes. Yet it worked for Nathan and Haley, and you knew from the moment they got together that this would be their endgame. They grew up together from hiding around to early marriage, tours, and breakups, followed by life-threatening accidents and ridiculous narratives. One Tree Hill is deeply flawed in more ways than one, but it's always incredible to watch Nathan and Haley fortify their love through every obstacle. Strength through adversaries. Indeed. Selfless foundation they built their relationship on contributes heavily to how wonderful their children turn out to be. Although we never get to see them grown up, we can be confident like Lydia will be confident like Jamie she'll understand the goodness, should always overpower. That's more important to give than it is to receive. Haley's faith in Nathan is essentially where their love begins. Love is not about gifts, but it's about someone's love language. And much like the bracelets, kissing in the rain became a suggestive representation of their love too. It's such a absolute classic, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Their love makes Brooke feel safe. Don't give up fighting for them. Their love was as real as it got in the series. It was ugly at times, unkind, heartbreaking, but it never wavered. One Tree Hill wasn't always well written, and the love stories along with the female characters took most of the punches. Considering what we know, none of this is even remotely shocking. Talking about the showrunner there. But where it truly mattered lies in the details that these two loved each other. Romance isn't always rainbows and butterflies. Indeed. Indeed. Absolutely. Nathan and Haley authenticate the notion that no other emotion in the world is more prevailing. Their love was the heart of One Tree Hill, the healing melody in desperate times and strength in adversaries. Because of the love they share, that they are braver individuals. Excellent. What a arc. First couple episodes, I absolutely hated both of them. They turned out to be endgame. Is wild. Good job on the writers for turning that ship around. Unbelievable. All right, let's jump into the last video of the day. It is always, told you we were going back to it, Buck and Eddie, or Buddy, 911. This was posted 7 days ago. 7. Go ahead and bring that up. Jump in, shall we? Boom.
Where are you gonna find a place like this in LA at your price point?
They're not in LA, they're in El Paso.
Bit different.
Wait, are you serious?
Thank you. We're not giving up.
You're just moving back to Texas. Like it's nothing. It doesn't affect anybody else. I don't need you either. Maybe I don't want to unpack. Because as soon as I do that, Eddie and Chris aren't coming back.
Man, I'm gonna miss you.
You don't know what it's like to watch someone you love walk away. It doesn't feel like my new place. It feels like Eddie's old one, which is proving to be trickier than I expected. It does. Like they just left him behind. Yeah, I'm gonna miss you too. Can I sleep here? This is Eddie's house. I'm not really a guest. It's not nothing.
That won't happen to us.
Everywhere I look is just one big reminder that my best friend is gone, and it sucks. I guess I'm having more trouble dealing with the idea of you not being around than I like to.
Good God, I feel that so bad. If you've ever lost anybody close to you, and you return to the home or their house or whatever, or somewhere you used to go, somewhere you used to hang out, it is absolutely emotional, brutal. All you can think about is them, and it's just, it is really hard to deal with. So I'm not surprised Buck is having such a difficult time.
You're not scared I'm gonna break your heart anymore. He's probably right. I was using him as a distraction so I didn't have to feel alone.
Do you think about him when he's not around?
It took me a minute to warm up to Eddie too when he first got here.
That's my back any day. Yeah, I'm always got it. His mother's not in the picture.
Are his concerns your concerns?
I'm here. What can I do?
And you're the guy who...
You always do. I should have been there. Stay with me, okay? I'm worried about you.
Likes to fix things.
I mean, does not having him in my life and in the field leave a big hole? Yeah.
What's your problem, man?
Trying to get your attention has been kind of exhausting.
Now the competition's out of the way. My attention?
It's me. How is that?
It's Eddie Diaz, new recruit.
Okay, you. I'm your renter. I'm living in Eddie's old house, therefore I must be in love with him?
Thanks for helping me get back to him.
Competition with who?
Come on, Evan, don't make me say it.
Is his happiness at least as important to you as yours?
Yeah, but maybe this isn't something you can fix.
Yeah, of course.
Are you?
In love with Eddie? Wait, Eddie? You're living in the guy's house.
It wouldn't be so crazy.
He was a renter, and he's straight, except that I'm not. I understand him feeling threatened by what me and Eddie have.
Really did that for me.
I just think that maybe you're not sure of your own feelings yet.
Hey, you and Christopher.
And if there's something that you need to tell Eddie, you will.
And could you see a future there?
Everything that matters is in Texas.
You act like you're expendable.
I hope you know. You do matter to me. Because you're going back to where you belong. With Christopher. But you're wrong. I know.
This is such a good edit. Oh my God. And now that there's more seasons, more episodes, more dialogue between the two, these are hitting harder and harder and harder. The longer this show goes, the more these edits are going to get absolutely just brutal, if you want it to be.
Just in your own time.
Yeah. Last thing you want is to be at the end. Hang on.
Bye, Buck.
I guess I can only hope to find something that good. Holding nothing but regrets.
You tried dating a few times after Abby
And
left?
if Buddy becomes a thing, these are going to be more and more like
Well, Eddie would never do something illegal.
super sad, super happy. It's going to like have that arc in all these
Maybe
edits.
it's time you learn the lesson again.
You know, I don't have to want to sleep with everyone I have feelings for.
You don't find it, son.
How to be alone.
I'm not gonna last.
You make it.
You
should call him.
I don't know the situation there, but that looks
Yeah,
funny.
that's what I've been saying. It's not like he moved to Mars.
Hey, Buck.
It's not like he moved to Mars. Absolutely. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. Well done. Oh. Magnifique. Throw that a like. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some much deserved love. And I will throw it in the Twitch chat for everybody watching live. Wow. Wow. As I said, the longer that show goes, the more these edits are going to get absolutely incredible. Dang. I'm absolutely in love with the final result. Also considering this one to be my most romantic Buddy edits ever. Indeed. Yeah, that was extremely well done. Very well done. Go ahead and bring up some more information on Buddy. 911's Ryan Guzman on Buck and Eddie, his 100th episode, as was mentioned earlier, and massive things that happen in Eddie's life soon. Season 8 is about to kick back into high gear for Eddie Diaz and friends with the 118 episode, and with 118 episodes of the hit. Go figure, 118, the 118 of the ABC series in the books, and Ryan Guzman's milestone 100th episode approaching. The actor feels incredibly thankful. That's amazing. I didn't even know that when it was brought up to him. I say this all the time. I'm living in gratitude. I wake up almost every day on a daily basis and just thank God. Just like, whatever I did to get this, thank you, and let's keep it going. Keep the good times here. After Eddie's son, Christopher, moved to El Paso to live with his grandparents in Season 7 finale, the firefighter spent the first half of Season 8 desperately trying to repair the estranged relationship from afar. Before the series went on its mid-season hiatus, however, Eddie realized that in order to make things right, he had to move to Texas. Despite the toll that Eddie's departure took on the 118, his pals understood and supported his decision to leave LA. It's not forever. It seems like it's temporary. After learning he was unable to work as a firefighter, Eddie traded in his truck and became an Uber driver to make ends meet. Two major developments that play a role in his ongoing search for himself. I believe that he's been searching to find his identity and find himself, and in doing so and asking that question, life will give you all the obstacles to destroy that you're used to. That's what we've seen in the last 7 years. Quote, we had to destroy who Eddie thought he was. He was this all-American individual with a silver star. He was seen as this war hero who could handle high-pressure situations with calmness and didn't really emote too much, kept everything close to the sleeve. Over the last 7 years, we went the complete opposite. Now that Eddie's back home in Texas, Guzman said he'll be able to access crucial parts of himself that were unavailable in LA. Been able to go back to his foundation and restructure himself. Now, the parts that we weren't able to get to are now available to us because now we're in El Paso. We're back into the family dynamic, and that's where this all usually stems from. Mother and father relationship. That is true. So now he's getting the opportunity to reinvent himself in front of his family and showcase that he's not just the little boy that needs taken care of. He's not the all-American hero to impress his father. He's his own man. Comes through so many adversities. Guzman promised that Eddie will also be heavily involved in episode 13, confirmed that both 12 and 13 will be 2 key episodes, signifying something incredible. So in 13, the episode description is Eddie confronts his parents and takes a big step in his relationship with his son, signaling a return to LA. What do we think? But beyond his bond with Christopher, Eddie has found family back in LA who certainly haven't forgotten about him. Bobby spent part of episode 11 accidentally calling returning 118 member Ravi Eddie. He gave the El Paso fire captain a glowing recommendation on Eddie's behalf, and he stressed that he'd always have a job should he ever decide to move back. And then, of course, there's Buck. Oh, gosh. Episode 11 saw Buck reunite with his ex-boyfriend Tommy, who revealed he was ready to give the relationship another shot since the competition was out of the way. Didn't sit well with Buck. No. Just denial, I guess. I think that Tommy's a little insecure. He's got something in front of him that he doesn't know how to take full advantage of, so now he has to compare himself to Eddie. When you have such a bond like Eddie and Buck do, I think it's going to be naturally infuriating to a significant other because it's like, well, why don't we have that bond? But I think emotions and feelings cannot always be a full representation of what the actual relationship is. Well put. Well put. Guzman loves the fact that 911 allows men to be so vulnerable with one another. Though he hasn't always had strong male friendships in his own life, now that he's found them, he truly understands the importance. I love the fact that Buck and Eddie share their emotions together and share a lot of their life. Like I do with a lot of my guy friends, my brothers. That helps out so much with mental health. I'm just speaking from my own experience, having a fellowship of men. The fellowship. The Mordor. That I can lean on and talk to. And you'll have my ox. About my emotions or my issues rather than just sucking it up and trying to figure out on my own has evolved me as a person. So I love that we're able to showcase that with Eddie. Nice. Following the crucial conversation between Buck and Tommy, Buck went back to stress baking and sought that's what he was doing when Maddie was sitting there. Sought his sister Maddie's guidance when she asked if he was in love with Eddie, stressing it wouldn't be so crazy. Buck replied, I'm not. As much as everyone seems to want me to be hopelessly pining for my straight best friend, it just isn't like that. As far as what Buck is going through and what Tim is writing, I don't know if it's insinuating they might have feelings for Eddie or not, or that he deeply cares about him. It's kind of open to interpretation, Guzman explained. But I think it does play into a lot of people's curiosities. I think we all, especially Oliver and I, are curious, what is their story? What's going on there? Is this something that does need to be addressed? I think we all, especially Oliver and I, are curious about their story. The only person who really knows those answers is Tim. So that's to be determined. Quote, Eddie will be on that same path of solidifying his identity. We got to see a version through the priest and getting his free will and his love for himself back and dancing like Tom Cruise, which was enlightening because it allowed for the audience and for even Eddie himself to see that he doesn't have to take care or take everything so seriously. He doesn't have to be the caretaker. He could just let loose sometimes. The rest of the journey in season 8, going to be furthering that and allowing for him to evolve as a human being and step into his fatherhood a little bit better. At the same time, this is 911 we're talking about, so Guzman also warned, we just can't have a story that's all happy-go-lucky and everything's perfect, because that's not how life is. Things are going to happen in Eddie's life that completely destroy his foundation all over again. We will see how he recoups from that. he going to go backwards, or is he going to learn from his past and continue to evolve? You know what's amazing about this? This might be one of the few shows that I've seen actors be interviewed and they actually like go into the character like very in depth, like wildly in depth, to the point where they're talking through it and, you know, he's going to find himself more and da da da. It's very interesting. I don't think I've seen this level of perspective on actors talking about their characters in quite a while, if ever. That is very interesting. And they're not even writing the characters, they're just going with it. That is really impressive for a TV show, let alone a movie. So it's very surprising. Quote, I'll keep on trying my absolute best to be better than the next day because I'm truly enjoying this whole experience. It's just offered me so much, Guzman said. 100 episodes is amazing, and now I'm going to celebrate a little. Absolutely. There you go. Dang. Season 8, Episode 10 recap. There are buddy cathedrals everywhere for those with eyes to see. Let's see here. Oh, it was the emotional goodbye between Buck and Eddie. Yeah, I think I mentioned that the way he closed that U-Haul is like the closing of a story. It's very interesting. Number 1 just aired its buddiest episode yet. That's the way I've written them from the beginning, EP says. Oh, well, that's kind of confirmation, isn't it? What? Buck put on a brave face, offering to help Eddie convince someone to sublet his apartment, like the Property Brothers. Devastation was obvious. Yeah, absolutely. Haven't seen him this torn up since his breakup with Tommy. Showrunner Tim says it is a breakup in a sense. Eddie is the yin to his yang. They're tightly intertwined characters, however you want to view that. You know, your mileage may vary. He's losing someone who's very important to him, and that's going to be rough on the writer EP says he doesn't purposely write them to sound like an old married couple. It's just who they are. Quote, that's just the way I've written them from the beginning. I just kind of stopped trying to fight it. Buck was petulant and jealous the very first time he saw Eddie. And then by the end of the first episode that he's in with him, they're like best friends. That's why I say your mileage may vary. The story that you're seeing on the screen is the story, but those characters have evolved. Very interesting. Regards to the phrasing of Buck outing Eddie, Tim tells me it wasn't intentional. You're not going to believe me, but it really wasn't. He says, I did notice it when I was editing the episode. It's like, Magoo, you've done it again. The writer said, the question is, will he come back, Eddie? I'm not promising that he will. I mean, you're never going to get a straight answer from that. I mean, come on now. That's funny. That is very funny. And of course, very important, just happened. Renewed for season 9. It is continuing on. So these edits are going to get more and more gripping, incredible, emotional, and just entertaining as heck. The more content you get to work with, I'm assuming the editors are going to have their way with it. That's awesome. That's very cool. That's amazing. For a show to be dumped by a network, to be picked up by another network, and just ran with. Now we're talking multiple seasons since it was dumped at a network. That's amazing. Truly amazing. I was absolutely dying for more Lucifer when it was dumped by Fox. And sure enough, Netflix was there. Cap it off. I was so happy about that. So happy. I think that happened with Community as well, didn't it? Although I think NBC like dumped it and then brought it back. Interesting. After a pretty lengthy campaign by the fans of I think it was six seasons and a movie or something like that. Unbelievable. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. A good kickoff to the weekend, in which I hope you enjoy. You have fun. Quest your own videos. ToddReacts.com. Season and series tiers is how you do so. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube. And if you want to be recommended more in the algorithm on your homepage, certainly do so. Subscribing helps tremendously for that. Like the video if you liked it. Follow the Twitch channel. I always forget it. Like follow, subscribe. Follow the Twitch channel if you'd like to join us live and join the wonderful chat. Join the Discord as well, a growing community of over 218 people just like you and me, I guess. I guess I'm included in that. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's like the YouTube comments, but better, because you could actually have like lengthy conversations with folks. There's been a lot of fun in there. Get to know people from around the world who are interested in things that you're interested in. I mean, what more do you want? And you get to, throw in pictures and videos and everything. It makes the comments so much better because you're actually having conversation. Very cool. Check out the winter collection of merch and the accessories as well. 15% off for members and ships worldwide. If you'd like to, certainly check that out. I hope you have a tremendous weekend. Do something fun, do something interesting. Go on a date night, even with yourself. That is important. If you are single, go on a date night with yourself. Spoil yourself every once in a while. You deserve it. Life is not just about, financial security and stuff like that. Treat yourself every once in a while, please. I hope you enjoy. Report back on Monday. I will see you all right back here on Monday for another amazing trip around the internet, one member requested video at a time. I will see you all soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Have a great weekend.